On 1010XL.
Jacksonville, save big today at Green Acres Sporting Goods. Right now, get a semi-automatic AR-style 12-gauge shotgun for just $2.99. Green Acres also stocks the top brands of suppressors. For nearly 60 years, Green Acres has been Jacksonville's trusted source for firearms and outdoor gear, providing expert service you can count on. Shop Green Acres today at greenacresporting.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Keep your ride shining all summer at Gate Express Car Wash. Buy one premium graphene wash and score a second for only $10. Don't wait. The sizzling summer sale ends August 21st. Visit Gate Express Car Wash today.
Frank Frangie here for my friends at Coyle Fencing. You've heard me talk about our Bregan baseball complex with walk-off charities and we needed a batter's eye. Nobody knew how to do it. Coyle figured it out, and it is great. Since then, Coyle & Sons has completed hundreds of projects, including most recently our football fields at Fort Family Park. The bottom line is they do everything. They do it well. It looks great. I trust Coyle & Sons. You can too. Since 1927, they've been getting it right. CoyleJacks.com, C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. That's where you find them. A proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to floridahomeac.com/careers to find out more.
Want to stretch that dollar? Taylor Doll here to help save you money with the Money Pages magazine and app. Trying to figure out dinner? Money Pages has deals at your favorite local restaurants. Need auto repairs or an oil change? Money Pages has coupons to help you save. Looking to do some home improvement projects? Money Pages has deals on everything home, from AC repair and plumbing to flooring and painting. Check your mailbox for Money Pages today and download the app for savings on the go.
Renovations are underway at the golf club at Southampton, but that doesn't mean you still can't come out and hone your game. The practice facility is open Tuesday through Sunday with a great membership offer to work on your game year-round. Log on to golfsouthampton.com or check out their Facebook page. Work on your tee game, iron play, shots around the green, and of course your putting. It's all there and a great way to stay fresh until they unveil fresh new greens in October. Check it all out at the golf club at Southampton. Call 287-PLAY.
When you need a unique gift idea, visit one of the Kuhn Flowers showrooms. This is Hacker. You'll see hundreds of cool gifts for any member of your family or friends. Kuhn Flowers, for over 75 years. Online at kuhnflowers.com.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by the Tom Bush dealerships. The 2026 Orlando Magic NBA Cup schedule has been released. They'll begin play on October 30th at Toronto, followed by a date with the Bucks on November 13th. Then they'll go toe-to-toe against the Brooklyn Nets on November 20th before rounding out play against the Pistons on November 24th. The Magic's entire 2026-27 schedule will be released tomorrow at approximately 3:15 p.m. Right now, 93 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
Taylor Dahl just had the shot of her life when it comes to
It's incredible.
some beautiful three buzzer beater.
You know,
That's right.
we're a true team in this this trio. You gave her another shot. It was so
She
like,
deserved it.
yeah, she did. She just missed it, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, have another
You got
try.
this. Do it again.
It's so nice.
The
LB.
lighting in here is apparently
it's
really
right
good
up.
for our faces.
That's why I missed it the first time.
But yeah, it's dark everywhere else. So that's exactly why. And I don't think shooting is really my specialty at this point in time. So I wanted you to succeed for all of us.
It was
I
a
would-
great second
I
shot.
really
You
would've
nailed
missed.
it.
Thank you.
Nailed it.
I did play basketball in 7th grade.
Swish.
So
There you go. It came back. It's like riding a bike. Came right back.
I loved basketball. I played.
Me too.
Well, I was cheerleading in 5th grade, and then I was
Okay.
told I was too loud, so I had to leave cheerleading.
No. Really?
Exactly.
And correcting people.
No, maybe. No, they didn't say I was too talkative. They said I was legit too loud. Like my voice overpowered the other girls.
Okay.
And I will say they did put me at the bottom of the pyramid, and I was upset because I knew how much I weighed and I knew how much my friend weighed. And they asked me for my weight first. And at this point in time, I don't remember the exact pounds. But I said my weight, and she went after me, and she said a pound less, even though
just so
weighed
she could
more,
be not
just
at the
so
bottom.
she could be at the top of the
Oh, that's
pyramid.
rude.
And I was like, that's not true.
You should have brought the scale.
I know. But I didn't want to say anything, so I just, whatever. But I hated cheerleading. And then 6th, 7th,
Then
and
you
8th
played
grade, I played
basketball,
basketball.
yeah.
But I was much better a defender than I was shooting.
Yeah, I love playing hoop. I played hoop through my freshman year in high school, and then I stopped like an idiot. I should have never stopped. I'm actually surprised my dad let me stop. We're like, me and my friends were like, we don't want to play basketball. We want to go skiing because you can go snow skiing in Wisconsin, and it was only like an hour and a half drive. So we, leave on a Friday, go there all day, but it was dumb. We should have played basketball because it's so good for football.
Yeah,
but skiing's good for you too.
Yeah. I wasn't that great of a skier. I should have stuck to the hoops. Not that I would have played any in college. I wasn't like that, but it would have definitely. It's just great for athleticism.
Agility,
if you
Footwork.
can, you cover someone in the open court. It's like covering in football. Like doing one-on-one coverage type of stuff. So, yeah, but basketball is great. My 8th grade team, 28-1, St. Mary's Bison, baby. We were number 1 in the Chicagoland for 8th grade, and all the Catholic schools, and we beat the one that beat us for the championship. That one lost, so it was a lot of drama. They had a really good player, and I had to guard him most of the time. It was interesting stuff. Really
Did you
good.
ever foul out in basketball?
Yeah, I
I can see
did.
that.
Actually, in my freshman year, so we had a rival. Like, it was funny. Like, most of the football guys played basketball. So,
Sure.
When there was time to foul, like, you had to go give a foul. You ran into him. You didn't go just tap him or
Right.
touch him. Like, you went and tackled him.
No flagrant fouls back
and then
then.
it would get physical. It was a physical. Even our 8th grade year, we had a couple, like St. James. They had a point guard that was really physical. He ended up playing in, he ended up playing, like, D3 in college. He ended up being pretty good. But it's such a great sport. I mean, it's just
levels
awesome.
above you at that point in time, too, in basketball were very physical, right? Like in
Yeah,
college
sure.
and the NBA,
And the NBA was
it's
a very physical era.
It's the game itself has changed since then.
My basketball career was very different. I did play I played 7th, 8th, 9th grade. I was way better offensively than defensively. Like, I was just not aggressive enough at all to play basketball. So, like, that would be the thing. Like, I remember very specifically, I actually was they had like a league called Junior WNBA at the time, and I played for the Monarchs. And so my stepdad would get so frustrated, though, because he's like, you're so good. You just need to be more physical, a little bit more aggressive. And I'm like, I'm trying. He's like, no, you're not. Like, go out there today. And like, he gave me this pep talk before. And I remember this girl going up for a layup, and I was like, all right, he said be physical. So I just like sprint full speed down and go to block her ball, but accidentally like tackle her at the same time. So we both like slide across the court. I get a foul. Then I'm embarrassed because she gets it. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. This is not the game that I play. But it was great.
So
I mean,
funny.
I still have friends that I played with back in 7th grade when it comes to that. And there were still things like when you go, even when you're at like Dave & Buster's or whatever, and you're shooting the basketball, you still have that like rhythm of what you're taught back then. And so that stuff never leaves you, which is fun.
I like shooting hoops, shooting around. It's fun, just to see if you can still shoot.
Especially if you're any good at it. It's not as fun if it's like clank or air ball.
Yeah. No
Then
doubt.
you're
If you
chasing
can't
the
make it to the
basketball.
hoop, you're
Yeah.
probably like, this sucks.
Right.
The last time I played hoop, though, I played against my nephew, and he schooled me big time. MJ, my brother's Mike's oldest
Michael
kid.
Jordan?
Not Michael Jordan, Michael James. But anyway, we were going to play in the morning. Well, we had been eating and drinking, and I was feeling like no pain at all. And he's like, he's talking smack. I'm like, well, let's go play right now. And Christy's like, I wouldn't go play right now. You've been eating and drinking. Something bad's going to happen. I'm like, nah, we're going to be fine. Let's go out there. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. He ended up, I'll have to live with that
sloshing.
one. Yeah, it was just not good.
After-
Probably was too heavy to be moving around that night.
After, I think it was Christmas. It was either Thanksgiving or Christmas one year. So either way, family has eaten a ton. And my uncle was like, and he'd been eating and drinking, right? He's like, I think I can run under a 5 flat 40.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
And so we're like,
Yank the hand.
Here we go.
measuring it. Yeah. He ran hard. He ran hard. Like,
Not
didn't
the
quite
5
get under the 5 seconds flat.
Oh my gosh.
But he worked hard. But yeah, out in the street measuring it, I'm like, the neighbors think we are lunatics at this point right now.
Totally.
Stuffed to the gills out here trying to run.
Yeah, trying to move around.
Yeah, my basketball coach in grade school, she was fantastic. She actually just passed away a couple years ago. Coach Bailey at St. Paul's. I went to her funeral. She was awesome. But she had us wear these blinders, and we'd have to dribble up and down the court so that you could never see your hands or the basketball. And then we'd also have to lie down and pretend like we were free throw shooting. And you had to do it with one hand 100 times, with the other hand 100 times. But if the ball hit the floor, the ground, right back to it until you got 100 in a row without losing the ball.
100 in a row?
Each hand.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it took a long time.
Like a real free
especially
throw?
my left hand.
Like
But
regular?
but lying down. So you're not trying to make actual free
You're just like
throws.
up
You're
straight.
just spinning the
I
ball. So in other words,
Okay.
teaching you to keep it on that exact arc.
Okay.
Yeah, like
well,
in the
that's
line.
a cool drill.
It was.
I mean,
if you're
challenging.
good at it.
Yeah.
People getting bopped in the face, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We would spread out,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
like nobody got hurt by any means. But
So think about this: like our 8th grade coach would inside would be coaching basketball with a cigarette in his mouth and the ash, like, I'm not kidding. And he'd be like, right, like, you got to pass for like this. And we'd just be like, looking at him like, is that thing, we're not even listening to him. We're like, is that thing going to drop? Like in the inside, like when you used to be able to smoke inside, it would be fully lit and you'd be running practice.
And y'all didn't think anything of it.
No, we didn't think nothing of it. We're more mesmerized by was the ash going to hit the floor? Because he keeps talking, it's flopping all over the place. Like, what the heck is going on here? But yeah,
It's a professional cigarette smoker right there.
Hey, we went 28-1. He was doing something right,
exactly.
I guess. You know,
We
but
had
good memories.
We had a teacher,
Good
not
memories.
a coach, but a teacher, and she had just had like a couple of teeth pulled. And so she came into class like the very next day, and she had like a drool cup that she would just hold while teaching. And we would
Just
all be like,
Ew.
just drooling into the cup. We
I
were
feel
like,
like take a couple days.
yes. Like, that's what taught me in the workplace. Nobody wants you showing up if you're drooling
down and out like
right,
that.
or ill or whatever.
You
like,
ever
stay
gleek
home.
on accident
Oh,
though?
yeah.
Like you ever like gleek some kind
It's
of
like
liquid?
it
well,
happens to me
sure,
like when I'm
happens to me
scrolling
on
on my phone because all of a sudden there's like spit splatters and I'm like, wow. But I can't do it on purpose. There are people that can like gleek
No, I
on
don't do it on
purpose. I can't do it on purpose.
No, it's just out of the clear blue. And you're like, oh,
I just spit everywhere. I'm sorry.
how'd that happen?
That reminds me of like we're telling all sorts of stories, but COVID's year when we had the plexiglass in between us, those the glass was so disgusting. I was like, this shows just how nasty people are and how many people spit in this studio because like you'd look over and it's just like Jeff Prosser spit.
We'll blame him only.
Sorry, Pross.
No, it was.
It was gross.
Yeah,
I think it got cleaned like once a week. We probably should have been like we all
More
probably should have
daily.
cleaned it. Yeah, I think most of us were afraid if we touched it, the whole thing would come
Just
down.
collapse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jared, did you play basketball?
He's
He
like,
wasn't
wait a
up
minute,
for
I'm
it.
busy.
I didn't see him over there.
No, I played football, baseball, and I tried wrestling once, and it was a disaster.
It's not
What
over.
position did you play in football?
I was a defensive end and a guard.
Defensive
Okay.
end, but
Wow.
you're so tall and thin.
I was not.
Those guys Crosby.
I was about 270.
Wow.
Yeah, I lost like 80 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
Holy
Wow.
cow! And
That's
then
a
what
big
position
boy.
in baseball?
I was first base unless I was being coached by the coaches, or unless the son of the coach was available, in which case I was in like left field.
Okay.
Okay.
Were you a power hitter at that size?
Yeah, I want to say like 310.
Wow.
And yeah, I was very good at putting it over the second baseman's head. So I was actually more of a slap hitter.
Okay.
But still, if someone saw Jared now, they'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure you
Yeah.
played basketball."
Yeah. No, that's
Because you're
why
what,
I asked.
6'2"?
Closer to 6 foot even, but I say 6'1".
Okay.
I'm 6'1" in shoes.
I've learned that. So, like, some people are tall, but if they're like broader shoulders, like you, Tom, like you may not appear as tall as somebody who's lanky. Like you always think someone's even taller when they're thinner.
Well,
Does
what
that
would
make
you say
sense?
about his height in basketball? What was
I was
the
saying
connection?
because
She said
he's
he's taller.
I would have expected he played
Oh,
basketball.
Oh.
It
But
also,
not realizing he was 270
yeah,
pounds.
he was
at 6
thicker
feet
back
tall.
then. Right.
Yeah.
I'm also built like an orangutan.
Yes.
Yeah, you do
So-
have very
You look
long.
like a
Your
basketball
wingspan
player.
is definitely there.
Yeah.
There
Trent
you go.
Baalke would have drafted you.
Exactly.
right.
Just based off of your
Heck
measurables.
yeah.
By the way, happy birthday, Robert Hainsey. I don't know
Oh,
if
yeah,
Trey
happy
Baalke would
birthday,
have
Robert.
drafted him, but happy birthday to him. We have
Say
3
happy
pairs of
birthday.
tickets to
the rock the country.
country.
Yeah, that's it.
Were you guys
country
practicing?
today.
Were you
Yeah, and I screwed it up. I called it Rock the Thunder Rock or
He was
something.
You're mixing like
crosstalk.
two different
Yeah.
words.
Yeah, like Pakua. You know, I can't
See,
help
you're
it.
efficient. You're
Yeah.
saving time.
Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, we've got 3 pairs of tickets today to go see Rock the
Heck
Country.
yeah.
That's the all-day music festival, country music festival that comes up in a couple weeks down in Ocala. So if you want to win those tickets, certainly be listening. You'll be able to tell which artists are country today, and so you'll certainly be able to win those. And then also wanted to give a shout out and good luck to all the high school and middle school football players, because I know things are starting to really get ramped up right now, and especially to Ace. He, I know, begins middle school football, and they have their first game soon. So shout out to them, and good luck to all of them. I remember you mentioned COVID. I used to run since, gyms were closed during COVID, and I would run by the high school, Fletcher High School football players as they were working out. And I was like, better them than me.
Yeah.
Because it would only take me like 45 minutes and I'd be done, and they're out there for 3+ hours.
Yeah, no thank you.
And they're not getting paid, or at least they weren't then. Maybe they are now.
Maybe some of them are.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, I was at an event before here at a speaking engagement. The guy was showing me a video of a sophomore at Fletcher.
Okay.
And the kids are like an offensive. He's massive and can move. It was like, he's only a sophomore. I forget his name. His dad's a barber. And but he showed me. Speaking of Fletcher, I was like, oh wow, that's
Was he a
pretty cool.
true sophomore?
Yeah, I don't know that. You don't know today, right? I mean, who knows? Who knows how? How old were you guys sophomore year? 15?
So I always
same.
turn the new age my middle year, like in the
Midway
my
through?
birthday's
Yeah.
December, so
Right,
every year
okay.
I'd be one age half the year and another age half the year.
Okay.
And I'm one of the
Yeah.
youngest because my birthday's end
Same.
of July.
Yeah,
and
same.
then, same with
Yep,
you.
yep.
So, it was easy, though, when people say, how old were you in what grade? It was easy to always just have 1 year,
Yeah.
one age.
I mean, I was like 15
Right,
and 16.
right.
That's how
Yeah,
old
right.
I was.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, sophomore year, when some of the kids started driving, then I was a little bit jealous.
yeah,
like,
I'm sure.
Dang,
Yeah.
they get to start much earlier.
I was a really good driver, like 14, because I was the youngest. So my parents they'd leave a car now and again and
Sure.
take the car.
Yeah.
go for a little
I'm
ride.
sure you did that with your daughters, too, right? Just left them a car at 14?
No, of course not. That's not what you do as a parent, right? You do you don't repeat stupid things.
He still packs her lunch. So
That's right. And I threw in an apple today on your behalf.
job.
All
I
right,
love it.
yeah.
All right, let's get into some Jaguars talk when we return. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL on 92.5 FM.
The path to victory starts here.
Jacksonville on the move here. First drive of the game.
1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
What a win for Jacksonville!
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Hey, Tom McManus here for Armstrong Fence Company, locally owned First Coast business for nearly 20 years. Hurricane season is here, so don't wait for that first storm warning. Your fence is your first line of defense. Loose boards, weak posts, or damage can turn into big problems in those high winds. Armstrong Fence Company, they handle repairs and build from stadiums to your own backyard. Get a pre-storm fence check today. Call Armstrong Fence Company or search them online. Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
ET here for Encore Research. And this summer, discover the power of research. Clinical studies are helping researchers find better ways to prevent, diagnose, and treat disease. And community members like you make it all possible. Your participation could help drive the next generation of healthcare discoveries. Find out how you can make a difference at EncoreDocs.com. Research moves forward because of volunteers like you. Let's build a healthier Jacksonville together.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 1:35 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Who's MIA? Who's coming back? Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 1:35 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Come to Monahan Jewelers store-wide 40 to 50% off sale going on now for a very limited time. Everything on display is 40 to 50% off at Monahan Jewelers. We've bought so much brand new jewelry, we need to make room for it. Diamond jewelry, engagement semi-mounts, colored gemstones, even gold chains. Right now, everything on display at Monahan Jewelers is 40 to 50% off. Jewelry's going quick, so come to Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
We're all good sports here in Jacksonville. Win or lose, we always support our teams and we cheer to the final whistle. So whether it's a touchdown, home run, three-pointer, a slap shot, or hole-in-one, we know how to make some noise. There's a whole lot to cheer about when it comes to sports, and really so much more in Jax. So get off the sidelines and get in all the big events at visitjacksonville.com/events or download the app for the latest sports schedules. Go sports! Jacksonville, the flip side of Florida.
I've worked with a lot of advertisers over the years, and you learn pretty quickly which ones are selling something and which ones actually care what happens after the sale. I'm Greg Gajewski, and when Awaken 180 first came to 1010XL, it started with Mike Dempsey, then Matt Hayes. From that first call, they wanted to understand our audience, not just buy a schedule. I talked with Paige, learned how the program worked, and at one point said, we got a guy, hacker, that could really use this. And her answer was immediate, let's help him. That's their entire mission. That's always been their answer. No revolving door, no corporate runaround. Paige never franchised Awaken 180 because she wants every coach, client, and endorser to feel supported. I saw that as a business partner, and then I experienced it myself. I went on the program and lost 50 pounds. That's why I endorse Awaken 180, not just because they're a 1010XL client, but because they care about people, and you feel it every day. Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. I am attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Out in the country past the city limit sign where there's a honky-tonk near the county line. The joint starts jumping every night when the sun goes down.
This would be Brooks and Dunn. There's a reason they're playing right now. It's because they're going to be at Rock the Country. I almost said Country Thunder, thanks to you. Rock the Country on August 28th and August 29th. So that's Friday and Saturday in just a couple weeks. So on Friday, you've got Brooks and Dunn, Miranda Lambert, Lauren Elena, Shenandoah, McCoy Moore, and a whole lot more than that. And then on Saturday, Blake Shelton, John Party, Hudson Westbrook, Mark Chestnut, and as well as Ashlyn Kraft. So
Cool. Joey's brother?
Band.
Chestnut?
Mark Chestnut is not. It is not. Mark Chestnut's definitely like 90s country.
Okay.
So a little bit older, but I guess Joey Chestnut's not young either by any means.
Yeah, he's like 50, isn't he?
I would think I would know if they were
I have
related.
no idea.
Yeah. Party's cool. John Party's cool.
John Party's
He's
fantastic.
fun.
Seen him
He's so
multiple
much fun.
times.
Yeah,
he
he's
came
good.
and played during COVID. He played outside the stadium.
That's right.
Which was a whole lot of fun.
Yep.
We just went and
Oh,
tailgated.
I remember that. It was like a whole tailgate in
Yeah.
the parking
Yeah, I
lot,
remember.
and he performed
Yep.
out there. I didn't get to go to that, but it sounded like a blast.
It was great, except the weather. We ended up like waiting for an hour and a half before the concert started, and so there were very long lines for the very few portalets. Let's put it that way, because everybody got stuck basically just drinking more in their vehicles.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
but the callers are like, "Hey, Lauren, can you please say a caller number?"
Oh, right, a number.
Yeah, call number 3-641-1010. Call number 3-641-1010, and you are headed with a pair of tickets to go see Rock the Country coming up later this month. I cannot believe I've known about this Rock the Country now for months, and I can't believe it's already almost here.
It's here, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
awesome.
it's going to be in Ocala at the Florida Horse Park. That's
Very
good luck
cool.
saying that.
Horse Park.
Thank you. Florida Horse Park. Got it. And if you don't win the tickets, you can buy them online, rockthecountry.com. You can buy single day, weekend, general admission plus, VIP, and upgraded passes called Front Porch. And then, of course, we'll email you those.
Sounds like I get my friend Robbie to grab his RV and get down to the country rocking.
Yes, Florida
rocking the
Horse
country.
Park is where you'll be headed.
Yeah, it's
But
beautiful country there, isn't it?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Driving through
the
Ocala.
live oaks and all the
grass, the sprawling grass, so
the
pretty.
fences, all the horses,
So
everything.
Cows.
The cute cows. They're there too. You're right.
Yeah.
But if you don't win the tickets right now, we have 2 more pairs to give away. So don't be don't be sad. We will have more coming your way. All right, I want to talk about the Jaguars in the sense of a guy on the text line yesterday asked us to talk about the bottom 10 teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason I hadn't really thought about it in this way. We were just there. One of the bottom 10 teams in the NFL, like
Not
2
long
years
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
And now some of us are thinking, like I have Jaguars fans that have explicitly told me the Jaguars are winning the Super Bowl, whether it's this year, next year, or the stadium in the future. Like they're winning the Super Bowl.
In that trajectory.
Yes, with Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen and everything. How fast it can change in this league and how fortunate we are to be on this side of things versus where we were before Liam Cohen took over.
Yeah, and you're seeing the amount of national media, not that we care, but they're starting to talk Jags.
Mm-hmm.
They're my dark horse pick. They're my pick. They're my pick. Your Mina Kimes talk about it. The Ocho
Trevor
or
Lawrence,
Echo or whatever his name is. The former linebacker said, they're our sleeper. You're my sleeper pick.
Nick Shook had him in his top 10.
It's interesting how all it takes is a year to flip it all around and get on that winning track. But, look, I'm happy we're there. I'm optimistic, but they still got to prove, they look good at camp. It's been a good camp. Don't get me wrong. I like it too, but, I want to I don't get too far ahead.
Absolutely.
I do think we're going to be a very tough team. There's no doubt about that. I also think we're going to be playing a lot of tough teams. And you got to stay healthy, and ball's got to go your way, and all that good stuff. So, a lot goes into it.
I've also seen, by the way, podcasts where they're picking the Jags to start off the season at like 1-6 because of the tougher schedule, and things like that. So you've got both sides.
I don't see that, right?
But I know exactly what you mean. Today was the first time being at the walkthrough, and it's such a different setting than a normal training camp practice. Obviously, much quieter. And I was thinking to myself, like, there's so much excitement. Guys, please don't burst the bubble.
Yeah.
Please don't burst the bubble.
I don't think they will. I think Liam's got their head on straight. I think that's what they needed, a lot of it. Just look, hey man, you last year was great. We're not resting on our laurels. Let's get to work. I think the way they've practiced has shown that they understand that they've got to earn everything. You know what I mean? I just get that feeling. There's no head in the clouds here. It doesn't feel like. It feels like, all right, we got work to do. We know what we have to do. We're going to stay humble yet hungry and just keep our head on straight, because that's half the battle.
Yeah.
Handling success is hard in the NFL because you start thinking, oh, we are good, and then maybe you don't do that extra lift, or I leave I leave the facility early, or I don't watch film at home, I go out instead, or I do, you know what I mean? Just little things, and then next thing you know, you're not as prepared, and then you drop some games.
Yeah, and I think that is the one thing that feels different about this year. I mean, there's a lot of things, but the biggest thing for me is the coaching staff and how I have the faith and trust in them that they will keep them level-headed, but they also will hold them accountable. That's one of the biggest things that we've heard this offseason. And I just feel like in moments in previous years, and this is not trying to knock all of the former coaching regimes, because obviously you have years like 2022 where there was a lot of good things coming out of this when it comes to development and obviously wins and a playoff win against the Chargers and all of that stuff. But I do think it feels different with the coaching staff. There was always this still little bit of a question mark hanging for a lot of the past 20 years of, can they keep this consistently? And even back in 2017, you had all this talent, it felt like, and you had this defense that everybody was talking about. The questions were more so then around the quarterback, like, can this quarterback be a game changer? And so now those two things are different. You do feel like your quarterback, especially if Trevor Lawrence continues what we saw in that second half, which it feels like he will throughout camp. It's not like the offense is, we've seen the defense win a lot, but it's still, he looks more comfortable. It looks like his offense, and that's what we've been asking for since Trevor got here. And but that combined with Liam Cohen and Coach Campanile and this coaching staff in general, I think just makes it feel different, because it feels like even if an injury happens, or even if maybe somebody doesn't play, somebody comes out a little slow in the beginning of the season, it does feel like this coaching staff has been able to coach these players go back to last year. How many players played above what you were expecting for this last season? And so I do think you have that, and that shows how important coaching is. You go to Lauren, speaking of, organizations that have had it bad for so long and how quickly it can change and how expectations can change. That's what happened in Detroit. Detroit was miserable forever.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the right coach comes along, and it's a combination. And general manager. You start hitting on your draft picks, your coaches, even losing your offensive play caller. Dan Campbell was able to keep things afloat. They only won 9 games, but a lot of injuries, I think, in that I would expect a resurgence from them just because of how well Dan Campbell coaches too. But it does happen like that, and it can be consistent. So I do think that sometimes people are like, okay, well, you don't want to be Washington, and Washington still, I think, is open too because they had a really good year, and then last year didn't, but other things were factoring into that. So I do think sometimes people are like, all right, well, we see the one-hit wonders, and we don't want to be that. There are examples of organizations that do flip it, and it does feel like it's not just a one-year thing. And Detroit is one of those examples recently. So
the Chiefs too. I mean,
the Chiefs,
once Mahomes got there, I know he's an
Andy
elite
Reid
quarterback.
Yeah.
And
They were winning.
Schottenheimer had some good teams.
Yeah, they still, I feel like they always had like 10, 11 wins. There was a little stretch, I feel like they were bad, but they weren't doing what they're doing. And now it does feel like that's the expectation. It has risen, and that's what I think is cool here. It goes from just being like, let's be like, can we just be above 500 to all of a sudden your expectations turn into you should be in the postseason to all of a sudden your expectations are you should win postseason games. Yeah. And that's where you want this organization to be
Think how quick. I mean, Campbell, the first year struggled. I think they won 1 game or 2 games. It wasn't very pretty, but they stuck to it. Him and the GM on the same page, like what kind of players we want in our organization on the field. And it's worked for him. But, look, it's heavy on their mind because Liam made it public. Like he's concerned about that hit wonder or was. And again, I just get the feeling that with their accountability that they're going to make sure everything's earned. You start over. That's what you do. You reset. You're like, forget last year. It doesn't mean anything. We haven't done anything now. We're 0-0. We haven't even played anybody. So we've had a great 11 practices or whatever. That's great. We're all happy about that. But guess what? In the whole scheme of things, it really doesn't mean anything.
And I've listened to all the press conferences, from the players and the coaches over the last 12 days. And every single player that's asked about last year immediately is like, that doesn't matter. That doesn't affect us whatsoever.
That's got to be the mindset. Right?
Yeah, which I appreciate that they're listening, receiving that message, and then applying it as well.
Yep.
But look, at the end of the day, if this team regresses this upcoming season, the narrative is going to have been proven true, that they are a one-hit wonder. And so I think they have enough talent to win at least 9-10 games. Yeah. And so that should, assuming health and all those things for the quarterback, but that should be I feel like the bar.
Minimum.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. The floor.
Yeah.
And if they win more than 13 games, I think at that point in time, we're talking about Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If they are able to if they are able to win all the road games that they have, those tough games in London, and they win more than 13 games, then I feel like I'm going to start using the word dynasty at that point in time, which is also too early to use.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think sometimes you do, I don't know if the direct win-loss correlates to a regression or anything, because I do think there's a world where this team wins 10 or 11 games, which is obviously less than last year, and that doesn't mean they've regressed. So I think you have to have that mindset too going into this season, that the schedule is harder, and sometimes when it comes to that, maybe you lose a couple close ones, but how are you playing in those games, I think is the biggest thing. And you can see there's the eye test. We talk about that all the time. There's games where you leave and you're like, there's no way we should have won that game, and we didn't. And then there's games when you're like, we shouldn't have won, but the ball bounced our way a few times. And then there's just games where you actually feel like you dominated. And I think that's what there were moments. The Chargers game last year, the Broncos game, those 2 games to me were the ones where I was like, this team can be for real. And so you have more of those type of games. And I don't know, you obviously don't want to win 7. You can't at the end be like, we didn't regress, but we were really close in a lot of them. But I think there's a world where 10 or 11 wins isn't a regression, because depending how they're winning some of those games and depending how the schedule plays out and health and all of those things, because you've seen teams go deep into the postseason winning 10 or 11. And so that's
9
part of
even.
it. 9. Yeah. So it is, that's an interesting part about the NFL is sometimes that team that wins 14 or 15, you saw Detroit do it a couple years ago and then lose pretty quickly into the postseason. And so you win 15 games and you lose in the divisional round. Does that mean you sucked? No, just certain things have to go your way also in a combination of playing well.
I think just talent-wise, of course, they got to stay healthy. they're a 10-win team. I mean, I just feel like I think their defense is going to be better. Of course, they got to stay healthy all around. I mean, think about it. Two of their biggest stars on defense were hurt last year, or playing hurt.
And what's crazy, Tom, is as the season ended, we'll take the wild card game out of it because they didn't hit that 30-point threshold that they had been hitting, right? So many games. They were averaging like over 30 points a game in the last half of the season. So that offense came into this training camp, and so far the defense has looked maybe slightly better than the offense. Does that speak volumes for what the defense has been able to do in their offseason? For the secondary, yeah. And again, they're not counting sacks. They're not stopping the play if there is a sack, But in the secondary, yeah, I think they've gotten really sticky in their coverage. And they're going against some great talent. And those guys are all performing at a high level. P. Wash and Brian and Travis when he's out there, and Jacoby. And the two young guys, they're no slouches either, having to cover those guys. But yeah, I would say overall. I think on Sunday it flipped a little. I felt like the offense looked pretty good. I thought Trevor had his best day. Yep.
Just in rhythm, consistent. Not a good throw here and then a misfire and a pick or, whatever. You know what I mean? Like completion, right spot. It's just good rhythm, good flow. It was probably his best day.
But it's almost like, to me, it's a good thing that instead of the offense just destroying the defense all training camp, it's certainly been back and forth.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I want wins on each side.
Right.
Yeah.
But some fans, even Liam, right, has admitted like he wants to see the offense do better.
Yeah.
Here's the way, if I may.
Yeah.
The reason I clap, right, on those big throws.
Yeah.
It's not that the offense beat the defense. It's that they're making those throws because we need those during the season. So when I see those being completed, it's not a knock on the D. It's saying, good, like we need those throws. We need that deep threat. We need when we're on the 50-yard line, you're going for the end zone. You know what I mean? We need that stuff to happen in order for our offense even to take that next step. So that and we do go by that. But when that doesn't happen, your defense is playing pretty good. And we need that too. So it's okay. Look, you come out of camp and you're probably even. That's what you really want, don't you? You don't want to go in and be like, oh, our offense kicked the crap out of our defense all camp. I'm a little concerned. You know what I mean? No, it's been a good battle. And we're not full. Sure. You don't know. That's the whole thing. You got to be. Yeah. You got to keep things in a certain perspective because they're not full speed just yet. They're getting there. And this week will be interesting. I can't wait. We're going to have Logs on Friday.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
And hear about he's going to be over there. We'll catch him after practice. And
yeah, he'll be at the joint practice tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll have him on Friday at 2:15. And there's no one that I want to hear from more, right, than someone like Jeff Lageman, who is the color analyst on the, right?
Give it to you straight. He'll tell you exactly what he saw and how he saw it.
So that'll be fun. All right, so who are some of the worst teams in the NFL? We'll get to that when we return. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care. Official dental partner of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Hey, Tom McManus here for John's Pest Solution. This time of year, it means football season, but it also means pests are wreaking havoc both in your yard and in your house. Trust the people I trust. My friends, John's Pest Solutions, to solve all your pesky pest issues. From scary spiders and annoying ants to maddening mosquitoes, John's Pest Solutions will treat your lawn and your house so you can stop scratching and killing bugs and focus on the game at hand. Visit johnspestsolutions.com today. That's johnspestsolutions.com.
I'm Alan Tyre with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners Bill Pappas and Ken Rimley want to thank all of our clients, CPAs, attorneys, bankers, and real estate agents who refer us business every day. If you're ready to purchase, build, or refinance your home, call Trustline Mortgage, your hometown mortgage source since 1989. Call us today at 904-381-LOAN, trustlinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Trustline Mortgage, NMLS, 331480. Alan Tyre, NMLS, 246490. Bill Pappas, NMLS, 218443. Ken Remley, NMLS, 246445.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Lauren Brooks. Here's one more reason to go to Big Chief Tire. When you buy tires, you're automatically enrolled in their Extra Mile program, giving you ongoing benefits like $10 off every oil change, free tire rotation, free air checks, and more. It's Big Chief Tire's way of rewarding local customers with real savings long after the sale. Visit WeKeepJacksRolling.com to learn more about their Extra Mile program today.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, what's bothering you, pal?
You know me, Jason. I'm a by-the-book kind of guy.
Oh, I know.
I drive the speed limit. I take my vitamins.
Sort your socks alphabetically by color.
Blue comes before brown, Jason. We aren't heathens.
But something's got you bothered.
It's not you, Jason, but there are some other companies in your business that have people pretty upset for doing things, you know, a little sketchy.
I know.
And when people get scammed, well, it looks bad on you, too.
So let me make things better for everyone. Here, put on these sunglasses.
Whoa.
If you're worried you called the wrong company and might be paying too much or getting work done you really don't need, call us for a free second opinion.
For free? Just to make people feel better?
Life can get pretty expensive sometimes. If you worry about spending money you don't really need to, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
My knees took a beating during my 11 years playing quarterback here in Jacksonville, and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists continue to stay on top of my progress. This is David Garrard, and I'm highly recommending Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
You don't have to be a professional athlete to enjoy the personalized attention you'll receive at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Let them take a look at your issue and put you on the road to a swift recovery.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Atomic Minutes, Jared Justice filling in for RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Clearly not time to call and win Rock the Country tickets.
No.
Clearly.
Nope.
Before we get into the worst teams in the NFL, news that broke a little bit ago. Congratulations to UNF head baseball coach Joe Mercadante, who is now signed through the 2030 season.
Oh,
Led
nice.
UNF, yes, to the ASUN Graphite Division title for this past season, and the most wins for the Ospreys since 2019.
Got a little
year.
security.
So, yeah, Merc is
Beautiful.
awesome. He was also the 2026 ASUN Coach of the Year. So yeah, doing good things there for the Ospreys, and might talk a little bit of ASUN in Lawrence
We've talked
Lane.
about how difficult it is to coach at that level
Heck yeah.
too when it comes to everyone
Players
trying to
get
steal
poached.
you do all
Yeah.
the work and
That's
find
right.
the good guys and then they get poached away from you.
Exactly. All right. So the worst teams in the NFL, and I've got some odds in front of me as far as NFL in division win totals. So I'll tell you the team that has the worst odds as far as the odds go for the in division win totals would be your Arizona Cardinals. 0.5. Obviously, an incredibly tough division.
Yeah.
So that's the over-under for their win total just in the division. So that's in the NFC West at 0.5.
0.5?
So, yeah,
Not
0.5.
a fun time
But
to-
again, you're going up against the Rams, Seahawks,
No,
and
I know.
49ers.
I get it. I
mean,
get
at
it.
least
People would make arguments for all three of them to win or at least go to the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Obviously, they can't.
Yeah.
But so that's the team with the worst odds. And then some teams that are tied with the next worst odds, the Dolphins, the Browns, and the Raiders, all 1.5 as far as in-division win totals.
Okay.
Not obviously season win totals. Would you argue with any of the teams that I've mentioned thus far?
Not in the sense of I think they're at the bottom, but one of the interesting things to me with this season, it's funny because I just had this conversation with somebody over the weekend of like how the league feels like it has more like parity than it had in recent years. Like there's a lot of teams that I'm like, that team could genuinely go deep into the playoffs. Maybe not Super Bowl. There's like a smaller portion of that, but the bad teams even the worst teams, I think there's a couple that I'm like, yeah, I have no faith in them. But even that chunk, a few that you've said, like for me, the Raiders and the Cardinals, I understand why people are saying that, but I could also see a season where they shock people because in the conversation, Kirk Cousins, you have Brock Bowers, you have Ashton Genty, you've added a lot of pieces in this offseason. You already have Max Crosby and all of those things. So I could see a world where they're a little better than maybe what people expect. I know the divisions affect both of those teams. But and the same with the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, it's depending what happens, I guess, with quarterback. But Jacoby Brissett, if he plays like he did last year, you already have Trey McBride and you have Marvin Harrison Jr. And now you just added Jeremiah Love. Like, to me, there's a potential for both those teams to be better than what people think. And
By
so,
the way, tomorrow night, Cardinals at Raiders, 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm assuming Carson Beck will get the start. I haven't seen if they have named
I
it
would
yet,
think
but
so.
we know Fernando Mendoza will get the start.
yeah.
So, and I'm not saying you're going to be able to tell what they're going to do in the regular season, but I think because you just talked about them, I think that is a fun preseason
I think so
game.
too. Yeah. Because those ones both have so many questions. I think that you wouldn't be shocked if they ended the season with 3 wins, and I wouldn't be shocked if they ended the season with 8 wins. That's kind of where I live with both of those teams.
So Arizona at 0.5 within the division. That
Yeah.
means they get swept by
They-
each team. I could see that. I could see that happening.
I mean, that division is ridiculous.
Yeah, both of those get kind of screwed in their
Yeah.
divisions,
Yeah.
honestly.
Well, there may be, it depends on the Chiefs, you
Yeah.
know, how good they are. The Chargers. Denver, it's all going to come down to Bo Nix, but,
But like the
they should be
Dolphins,
tough again.
1.5 in that division with the Jets. I mean,
Yeah, who are they getting the second win from? They got to beat. They could probably beat the Jets,
or
you
they
know?
just
They beat the Bills at home
They
all the
beat
time.
New
Or I think that's the
England.
thing, right?
Yeah, down
It's
in
like-
Miami.
Yeah,
they did.
Miami.
New
Yeah,
England.
so they could win, and the Browns may beat the Bengals for one of them. What are they? 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5. Yeah, I'd love to see the Dolphins shock the Patriots down there.
Well, isn't that normally the thing? Like,
Yes.
it was
That's
the-
what I was trying to remember. One
Bills
of them
or
had
the Pats always
the
lose
When
history.
the
in Miami.
Patriots were
Yeah.
really good,
Yeah.
the Dolphins would still win in Miami.
In Miami,
Yeah,
right,
not
yeah.
almost never up in New
Yeah.
England, but yeah,
Right.
down in Miami.
Yep.
And then a lot of teams have just the 2 wins in the division. So you've got the New York Jets, the Tennessee Titans. Well, sorry, a lot with 2 or 2.5, and then 2.5 the Vikings, the Giants, the Commanders, and that's it for that category. But basically,
Yeah.
if you're wondering, the Jaguars are at 3, tied with the Colts. The Texans have 4 as far as the odds from Vegas for in-division
really?
wins. So really, it skews, I would say, from like if you're 2 and below, you're predicted to be one of the worst teams. So again, the Titans would
Yeah.
be in that 2 range.
So I went 4
yeah.
and 2 because we were both 5 and 1,
Mhm.
right? Who are they sweeping us? Is that what they're thinking? With us at 3 and them at 4, right? Is that the way to think like that, right? Like because they got
So I
to.
think they win both.
I mean, with us winning last year, we were both 5 and 1 within the division, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this year, they're saying we are over unders 3, and theirs is 4.
Yeah.
So I wonder where they're getting that extra victory from. Maybe
Probably
not
not.
us. Maybe sweeping
Yeah,
Tennessee.
And maybe looking at the schedules of like when they play the division compared, they look into all of that. Like I don't know what their schedule looks
Did
like.
you say Tennessee's at 2?
Yes.
So they don't feel like anybody's sweeping them, is what that means, right?
Right.
Okay. Interesting. I can see them getting swept by one of us, Jacksonville or Houston. I think they're going to be a tough team. I don't think it's easy, but I think we'll prevail on both of those. But
yeah, the Titans and the
Interesting.
Jets just at 2. I feel like
the Jets should be lower. Geno?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's Geno Smith. He's
I
not
agree with
bad,
you.
but I don't
Well,
know.
the Titans could be technically like they lose to, or they beat the Colts and Texans. So one team could
Or
sweep
us.
technically.
Right.
Yeah, one
right,
team could
right.
sweep.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, if you ask me, like, who do I think is going to have the number 1 overall pick going into next year, I would say the Dolphins. I wouldn't say the Cardinals, just
Yeah,
because
me either.
I do
I'm
think,
with you.
yeah, to your point, Taylor, the Cardinals have more overall talent. The Dolphins are depleted other than the quarterback and the running
And
back.
Adrian, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, there's just like that sense once you start to get rid of certain players, like
Yeah.
the morale, I feel like just,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the Jaguars had gotten rid of like a Jimmy Smith and some other key pieces, like you all would have looked at each other and been like, well, they're not trying to win at this
No,
point
right.
in time.
I remember when they let go of Andre Rison,
Yeah.
and everyone was freaking out, but we had Jimmy Smith.
Right.
We didn't know we had the Jimmy Smith. We knew something, but so that was a shock, But yeah, when you start unloading players, you know the deal.
Yeah, I mean, baseball teams do that, and that's when you know those franchises once they start selling. And I'm sure that there's data that the back half of the year, once they've been sellers at the trade deadline, especially if they've traded multiple players, then the team probably doesn't go above 500.
Yeah, and the interesting, I mean, Miami in general has had a weird, interesting approach this offseason because you talk about shipping away everybody, and then you bring in Malik Willis, who's we've talked like in moments has had his time where he looks good, but he's never had to be a starter for a long period of time. And then they hire a defensive-minded head coach in Jeff Hafley, who's been like fine in Green Bay. I don't know if I would have been like, oh man, this is a slam dunk hire, and maybe that ends up being wrong. He proved some people wrong, but it's interesting. You're a DC for 2 years with Green Bay, and then in a world that's hiring a lot of offensive-minded guys, especially if you're trying to get some younger quarterbacks that don't have a lot of reps developed. That's interesting. So their approach in general this offseason was one of the more odd approaches in that general. Maybe it's just full on rebuild. That's part of it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, he was former BC head coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was okay. You know, I think he got tired of managing everything, you know, the portal and all that kind of stuff. But he's a really good defensive coordinator. You got to give him that. He must have familiarity with Malik in Green Bay, right?
Yeah.
And so he's saying, okay, I've seen this guy enough. Maybe, you know, give him a shot.
And if not, then I get a number 1 overall pick next year and maybe the quarterbacks that we think is going to be really good.
Because they clean house down there, right? The GM, the president of football ops, and the head coach all got let go.
Yep, you got that right. All right, Tom's takeaways on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010 XL, 92.5 FM.
Let's now welcome Jaguars legend and inaugural Pride of the Jaguars inductee, Tony Baselli.
1010 XL.
Problems, pick Porter. When you need a lawyer, pick smart. PickPorter.com. DUI, pick Porter. Divorce, pick Porter. Criminal or injury law, pick smart. PickPorter.com. Problems, pick Porter. When you need a lawyer, pick smart. PickPorter.com.
Lauren Brooks here. Game days are back in Duval, and Closets by Design is ready to make your home a championship space. That's right, Closets by Design does way more than custom closets. They can transform your man cave to wow your friends when they come over to watch the Teal and Black. Schedule a free in-home consultation or schedule a personal tour of their amazing showroom on Phillips Highway by calling 904-878-9393 today. Get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation, and 18-month financing is available. You can find them online at closetsbydesign.com.
What if the next roof you put on your home was the last one? Not another replacement in 15 or 20 years, the last roof. Metlock Roofing is Florida's only manufacturer and installer of this exclusive roofing system. Engineered for strength, built for Florida weather, backed by a lifetime warranty. Imagine never needing another roof. Call 938-9933 or visit metlokroofing.com. Get your last roof today with Metlock. License number CCC 1335581.
Tom McMahon is here for Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned First Coast business for nearly 20 years. Hurricane season is here. Don't wait for the first storm warning. Your fence is your first line of defense. Loose boards, weak posts, or damage can turn into big problems when high winds come around. Armstrong Fence Company handles repairs and builds from stadiums to backyards. Get a pre-storm fence check today. Call Armstrong Fence Company or search online. Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Royal Pest Services, a local company you can trust.
Royal Pest is a certified installer of tap insulation, which stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Reduce that electric bill by adding pest protection. It's that easy. Online at royalpestservices.com.
You see Daly's convenience stores all over the First Coast, and one thing you'll always see once inside Daly's is a cooler full of Bud Light. It's the official beer of the NFL, and every game goes great with a cold one. So head to your local Daly's the next time you stock up for the big game.
Progressive presents Perfectly Bad Excuses for Missing Stuff to Spend More Time on Your Motorcycle.
Hey, Tom. Gonna miss the 5K. Gotta organize my vitamins. A, B, C. There's so many. D.
Now that was a bad excuse. If you love your vehicle this much, get customized coverage from Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch.
County Road 233 under my feet. Nothing on this white rock but a little old me. I got 2 miles till he makes Bill.
Miranda Lambert's songs are so much fun. I've seen her in concert at least once, and she puts on a great show. So if you want to go see Miranda Lambert, the caller number 2 at 641-1010, caller number 2, and you win a pair of tickets to go see Rock the Country once again on Friday, August 28th and Saturday, August 29th. Brooks and Dunn on Friday, along with this artist, Miranda Lambert, and then several others. And then on Saturday, Blake Shelton, John Party, and much more artists on that day as well. I'm not surprised that they put Miranda Lambert on Friday and Blake Shelton on Saturday.
Yeah, might want to separate those
They
two.
would not be interacting at any point in time because for people who don't know, they used to be married. Not married
I think I
anymore.
told you, I saw her once with
Yes.
Christina, and
Yes.
she kept crying, wouldn't sing, and the crowd sang for her, and I was like, what in the bump is going on? She was upset about the breakup. It was after the breakup, and it was some song that reminded me of her, of him, and I'm just like, get your beat together, man. Like,
got
what are
a
you
job
talking?
to
I
do.
come here to listen to the crowd.
That's
anyway,
funny.
yeah.
I
it was,
have seen her twice. I now remember because the first time
was
I
very
saw her,
upset.
she opened for Kenny Chesney, and this is the reverse. This was before they got divorced. They were still
Okay.
married. But she opened for Kenny Chesney, so she does all of her stuff. She goes back, behind the stage. Kenny Chesney comes out, and then he's going to bring her out for a song.
Yeah.
And she was like stumbling around the stage, couldn't
Had too
really
much fun.
sing. She had way too much fun
Too many
backstage.
shots back there or something.
Yeah, and I was like, I remember thinking like, oh, I wonder if like Blake's okay with this,
Yeah.
Right. But and then they ended up getting divorced. If you don't win the tickets right now, we have one more pair to give away. But remember, you can buy them at rockthecountry.com. There's single day, weekend, general admission plus VIP and upgraded passes called Front Porch are available. It is in Ocala later this month at the Florida Horse Park. Time now for Tom's Take.
Now, Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, or dial pound law. That's all.
All right, my take today on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. It's every day's beautiful. Rain, sun, it don't matter.
Lightning.
Brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. I had a little event earlier today at the Professional League of Mortgage Lenders. They had a event at this Jack's Golf and Country at the clubhouse. And I did a little speaking, and Nick Howland was also there. Nick is the new Jacksonville City Council president, and he went on. The whole theme was like how Jacksonville's on the rise. There's so much going on. So I was the Jaguar part of talking, like how good things are and how they're looking, and yada, yada, yada. And then he was talking about all the development in Jacksonville. Let me just say this. There's a lot going on downtown.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of investments being happen or are happening. I think tomorrow's like the budgets. They were telling me, him and Rory Diamond were there telling me about the budget's out, and then they go through it and they cut it or whatever. But there's a lot of investment being made for downtown development. So I thought that was pretty cool. I even stayed to listen because I even said to him, I said, I kind of have to go, but I want to hear what you have to say. I wanted to hear where, how from somebody that's in the thick of it, how we are as a city. And it sounds like things are looking good for downtown development, man. Obviously, the stadium's big and the new Jags digs and then the Four Seasons. But even more than that, even though the trio on the South Bank, there's another development happening. So should be pretty cool as years continue to grow.
Did they invite you to the budget meetings? Because I think you would love those.
No, I would fall asleep. I would. I would definitely fall asleep.
You don't like any meetings. Certainly not a budget
Oh, my
meeting.
God. A budget that I'm not even involved in. Right? No, thank you. But, yeah, that's my take. Brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Just check them out on your cell at Pound Law. That's all.
Yeah, Nick is also connected with the Fire Watch.
Oh,
It
yeah.
does a lot for suicide prevention.
Veteran suicide
Yes.
prevention, absolutely.
Yes, suicide prevention for veterans, and they do a fantastic job, and so we appreciate all that they do.
Yeah, he's been on the horse's mouth a bunch. I've known Nick for a while. And it turns out he's from Glenview, Illinois. And I never knew that. I went to Glenbrook South. He knew one of my high school buddies' dads, who was a dean there, and another football player played an all-star game. So that's kind of cool. I never knew that about it.
Since you mentioned that, has there been any update or development with the Chicago Bears and where the stadium's going to be? Because it was hot and heavy there for a minute.
Yep.
And then now I feel like we've heard absolutely nothing.
I said during that period of time, I thought it was like a big bluff from everybody. You know, Kevin Warren pretty much just be like trying to get what he wants in Illinois, but it's died down a lot. There's been this new one, like the Hammond location that they are having it on Wolf Lake or whatever, the spot that they originally said in Hammond, Indiana, they were going to have it, now bought more of the land or like had agreed to take over more of the land for somebody. So they're continuing to do their part, but nothing has been said
and then
on the
you
other
hear
side.
something about downtown. There's
They've
another
now
site
had a
downtown.
location that has started being plotted for like back on Lake Michigan downtown, a little more south side. But so
good. I hope they keep it down. If they're not
Me
going to
too.
go to Arlington, I hope they keep it downtown.
Yeah.
Don't take it to Indiana.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad, like I've said before, that everything here was so smooth and everybody worked together. And
No
so
doubt.
I can only imagine the jokes, you know, obviously the Indiana Bears and things like that. If the Jaguars had not been able to facilitate, like, I mean, we already heard the
Can you
London
imagine
stuff.
if we built a stadium in Kingsland, Georgia?
Right. Yeah.
You know what
The
I mean?
Georgia
Everybody,
Jaguars.
what?
Georgia,
The Georgia Jaguars. No, it's still ours.
Yeah.
I
No, it's our
stop.
team.
I thought the Eagles were the Georgia Jaguars, or the Philadelphia Eagles were the Georgia
right,
Eagles.
the Georgia
There we go.
Eagles, right.
Get there
There you
eventually.
go.
All right, Taylor's Tangent when we return. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
We love winning, and 1010XL wants you to win our contests. We also like to share the winning. That's why we ask you to wait 30 days to win again so others get a chance to have the winning feeling. Find complete contest details at 1010XL.com.
Hey, fellow Floridians.
We're the Wombles. We're retirees with 5 grandkids.
And huge fans of natural gas. When the kiddos visit from Ohio, we go through towels like pool water. That's why we love our natural gas dryer. It dries in a jiff.
So we use less energy and save money, too.
Yep.
Now earn up to a $300 cashback rebate when you install a new energy-efficient natural gas dryer. To learn more, go to peoplesgas.com/rebates.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. Are you looking for a remix on the original Chick-fil-A sandwich? The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is back for a limited time only this summer. It's a flavorful spin on a familiar favorite created with Chick-fil-A chicken, a drizzle of honey, pickled jalapenos, and a spread of savory pimento cheese. This sandwich combines your favorite flavors with a new twist, available for a limited time only, so stop by and enjoy the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich at Chick-fil-A today.
I'm local attorney Rick Alexander. In my 30 years practicing law, I've learned you never want to choose money over health. It's always a bad deal. Unfortunately, when someone screws up and you get hurt, that choice is gone. Your only choice is whether you face the future with a lawyer or without one. If you're hurt because somebody screwed up, call me at the practice. The Alexander Law Practice, 904-460-600 or alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Join Sporting News Jacksonville correspondent Pete Prisco for NFL News and Notes. Of course. Thursday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Frank Frangie and Hayes Carline. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Got a leaky faucet, a running toilet, a drain that's slowing down? If you've been meaning to call a plumber, now's the perfect time to call Duck Duck Rooter. Schedule any plumbing service during August, and while our technician is already at your home, we'll include a free water heater inspection. It's just one more way we deliver the Duck Duck standard. Honest recommendations, fair upfront pricing, and no surprises. If you're calling a plumber anyway, why not get a little bit more while we're there? When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Hey, Hicken here. You know I've been using Zero Res for years now. Heck, I used a couple other guys way back when, even tried to do the do-it-yourself cleaning. I learned real quick, that ain't for us. With Zero Res, you get the Zero Residue Carpet Cleaner. Leaves your carpets truly clean with no dirt-attracting soaps or harsh chemicals. Right now, call for the back-to-school promotion. Book 2 rooms of carpet cleaning for $149, get 2 rooms free. Call 287-5727 or visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and ask for the 1010XL back-to-school special.
Zero Res.
I-9 Sports is year-round. Fun for kids 3 and up. From North Jacksonville to Fleming Island, Neptune Beach to Orange Park, I-9 Sports makes it convenient for you with their 1-day-per-week commitment with practice before the game. It's easy to fit it into your schedule. Log on to i9sports.com and register now for fall and winter. Flag football, hoops, baseball, soccer, volleyball, and multi-sport. There's something for every youngster in North Florida. Fall and winter registration open right now at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
I've worked with a lot of advertisers over the years, and you learn pretty quickly which ones are selling something and which ones actually care what happens after the sale. I'm Greg Gajewski, and when Awaken 180 first came to 1010XL, it started with Mike Dempsey, then Matt Hayes. From that first call, they wanted to understand our audience, not just buy a schedule. I talked with Paige, learned how the program worked, and at one point said, we got a guy, hacker, that could really use this. And her answer was immediate, let's help him. That's their entire mission. That's always been their answer. No revolving door, no corporate runaround. Paige never franchised Awaken 180 because she wants every coach, client, and endorser to feel supported. I saw that as a business partner, and then I experienced it myself. I went on the program and lost 50 pounds. That's why I endorse Awaken 180, not just because they're a 1010XL client, but because they care about people, and you feel it every day. Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm Olivia Brooks with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by Baker Glass. The Jags are heading to New Orleans for the first weekend of preseason. Tomorrow, they'll have a joint practice with the Saints before Game 1 kicks off Saturday at 4. The Jags will host joint practices with the Panthers and Buccaneers at home, leading up to Games 2 and 3 at Everbank Stadium. Those practices are sold out, but you can still get tickets to the games at Jaguars.com. Stay with 1010XL for live coverage and updates every day. It's 90 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah.
I found a love. It's swept me up to my feet.
Hope everybody's safe out there, as we can certainly see and hear lots of lightning and thunder, not like thunder and lightning back in the day with two really good receivers, but actual thunder and lightning. So stay safe out there, everybody.
Not country thunder.
Dark out there.
Exactly. Not country thunder, but we do have one more pair of tickets to give away to Rock the Country. But keep listening as we'll give those away in just a little bit. Time now for Taylor's Tangent.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
So you mentioned it earlier, Tommy. I didn't even tell you what my tangent was going to be about, but you mentioned Mina Kimes and her talking about the Jaguars, specifically Trevor Lawrence. She went into a pretty deep look at the differences between his first half last year and his second half last year, and the improvements, the parts that did improve the most throughout the season. So I wanted to go over a few Trevor Lawrence numbers when it comes to some of the things that she kind of broke down, and then just some stats in general. One, this was not Mina Kimes, but I saw this later, and this is something that I think that Liam Cohen definitely has to, I know he's been focusing on this offseason a lot, but Warren Sharp had posted a stat of the percentage of QB pressures that turn into sacks. So obviously the lower the number, the better. Brock Purdy was the best last year. Only 10.3% of pressures turned into sacks for him. Behind that was Bo Nix, Matthew Stafford, Jordan Love, Flacco, Williams, Cousins, Penix, Stroud, and Prescott were the best at when it comes to, and there's multiple parts in that, but it seems like those quarterbacks were really good at not letting pressure turn into sacks. Trevor on this list was 21st Granted, it was out of 42 quarterbacks because obviously with some of the injuries last year, there were more than the 32 starting. And so he came in at 21st, though, with 19.2%. So that is a number you'd like to see lessen this year when it comes to some of those less pressures becoming actual sacks. I think he got better, especially in that second half. You saw him use his legs last year, and I would expect even more of that this year. But that one was interesting. But Mina Kimes goes on, and she was talking about a few things that changed in the second half of last season. So she named 3 things specifically. She said Myers opened up in the middle, 27th in EPA per play, throwing between the numbers weeks pre-trade and 3rd after that. So once you added Jacoby Myers, that between the numbers went from 27th in the league to 3rd. So that's a massive jump when it comes to that. And we know, obviously, he was catching the ball. So that's a big part of what was going on in the middle of the field, but just the comfortability there. Her number 2 point was that Trevor's average depth of target jumped to 3rd league-wide. We talked about that a ton, too. That number that you had went over it specifically. Yeah. It was like 5 or 6, and then it ended up going almost 7, 8,
and even a 10 against the Jets.
Yeah. And then her 3rd point, Jags offense ranked 1st in penalties weeks 1 through 9, and that dropped to 12th after. That's something you would also want to continually see drop. You don't want to be like near that top 10 when it comes to penalties a week, and that is something that we saw start to get better throughout the season. So she continues on. So those are just the notes, like I said, of things that had changed in the second half, and that led to what Trevor Lawrence was doing and some of that production in the second half that we've been talking about endlessly and that we're hoping continues right out of the gates this season. But he was in the second half last year 3rd in EPA per dropback of all quarterbacks in the NFL. He was 5th in QBR out of all the quarterbacks, 5th in success rate, and then tied 1st in explosive plays. That explosive plays we've talked about a lot, too, for this team and how defensively they got burned on a lot of those, especially against teams like Seattle and the Rams. But so you'd like to see the defense get better, but also that was something that all of a sudden this offense things really started clicking. And I think a lot of that kind of correlate when it comes to his average depth of target gets longer. Then all of a sudden you are seeing some of those deep plays really start to work out.
Yeah, and I think, that's why we're seeing more deep plays in camp, right? Because they want to even make it even further, a longer yards per attempt down the field, because we all know what that can happen with underneath. It just opens everything underneath. So, look, we saw the change in him. The first 11 games or so, he was really good at times. He was good at times. He wasn't that good at times, and he was just okay at times, right? It was sometimes were great. Sometimes you're like, it's not very good. But then it started clicking, and then he went on a run. I mean, the rating alone was in the hundreds. It wasn't in the hundreds before that. Take it as you will. Whatever. QBR, like you said, it did jump. It jumped a ton. So look, he's got to do that again. That's and it's really the team. Back to what we were talking about before, the one-hit wonders, all that. It's him because he's the QB, but it's the team. They gotta be consistent. They got to show that last year wasn't a fluke. That last year wasn't just you got not lucky, but on a good run. And things started clicking, and the ball went your way, and whatever. You ended up winning games. You know what I'm saying? You got to prove that wasn't a fluke, and you prove it by how? By that our quarterback playing like he was playing,
replicating that
towards the end, and getting off to a fast start. I will say this: you said it earlier in the week about Taylor, about you could tell he's not thinking; he's just playing. Last year you couldn't tell that until he went on his run. And that's the whole let it rip and all. Quit thinking so much. Throw it to the guy.
Yeah.
And he's recovering from injury to start the offseason.
He was,
so when he's learning the new system, Trevor, he's also got this rehabbing, and he's not able to throw as much as I know he would have liked at that point in time.
I'm not concerned, so please don't take this the wrong way, but I thought he would light up camp a little bit more than he did, to be honest with you.
So far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had, like I said, Sunday was a really good day.
There's been a couple good days, but of 11, you'd like to have more than a couple good days.
And that's why I was asking earlier about the defense. Like, does it make you disappointed in the offense because of obviously what they're coming off of from the end of the season, or does it make you a little bit more excited about, like, to your point, the secondary, but the defense as a whole?
Well, I mean, look, when you miss a throw, that might not be the defense, just mean you.
Also true.
I didn't like him missing. It was me and Koff were talking about it. So how do you like Trevor so far? I said, hey, he's good. He's good. He's like, I didn't like him missing that end zone shot. He threw it inside and late. Remember, Brian Thomas had a step on him?
Yeah.
And then ended up bouncing off the guy. And we remember that. And it was like, yeah, you're right. He just threw it late. Those kinds of. So anyway, there's no concern because of what we saw last year. And we have seen the good. So it's talk about what a year difference makes. You're not worried about the QB.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just not.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
sky was falling last year.
yeah, you just didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, is he going to make that turn or is he not? Or was he going to be? But he did. So you just expect that turn to continue. I do think he does look more comfortable. And I do think a lot of those times when you're missing throws, you might be trying different things. You know, it's camp.
Yeah.
You know, you want to hit them all the time, but maybe, I don't know, or maybe your footwork got a little off. Or the one to Brian, I'm telling you, it's just that timing. You just got to throw it earlier. You know, don't wait till he's past the guy as he's going by. Let it rip, and he'll run under it.
It's also hard, too, because he's been getting sacked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are times that he's
clear sacks.
Yeah, it's a sack, and so...
But that's good or bad, right? Sometimes he makes a touchdown throw on those, and sometimes he doesn't make a good
No,
throw.
yeah, and that's where you have to take off
Separate.
the touchdown
Yeah.
throws, though, too.
Yeah.
So last year, as far as the average yards per completion when it comes to... average yards per attempt when it comes to the NFL, there were two quarterbacks at the top. 8.9 yards and 8.5 yards. So average yards per attempt.
Mm-hmm.
Stafford.
I was about to say Stafford.
8.9 was Drake May.
Drake May, yeah.
8.5
That's right.
was Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
two
yeah, I
quarterbacks
remember
that played in the
Yep.
Super Bowl,
yeah.
you have to take Jameis Winston out at 8.6 because he didn't.
Not enough.
Yeah, didn't play enough. After that, it's Lamar Jackson at 8.4, Daniel Jones at 8.1, and Josh Allen at 8. Everyone else is below that. Again, average yards per attempt.
Yeah.
I just
Trevor
found
7.2, I think, overall, right? 7.2, 7.3 when it was all said and done. I think it was
Trevor
7.2.
was
From what I remember.
7.2. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a massive amount of guys in that 7.2, 7.3.
And keep in mind, his 7.2 also had some 5.5s
Yeah.
and 6.5s and
Yeah,
that kind
I
of
just
thing.
thought it was crazy
Yeah.
that the top two guys were the quarterbacks that played the
Yeah.
Super Bowl because we all
Go
would have
figure.
expected, like y'all guessed Stafford,
Yeah.
who was at 7.9, along with Jared Goff at 7.9.
Also, interesting note in there, Daniel Jones. We've talked so
Yeah.
much about this division and what the Colts look like. They have to be having a similar conversation in Indy of if Daniel Jones comes out and plays like that first 8 weeks, like
Right.
the team,
Yeah.
they have to be confident in that. And especially you're talking about that's a good group of quarterbacks to be sitting
They
next
didn't
to.
punt for how many games?
Yeah.
I think it was
I
like
mean, they
4
were
weeks or 5
rocking.
weeks or something.
Yeah.
They were unbelievable.
It was
on
quite some
offense.
time.
Yeah.
And then they made the trade for Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
And they look
Yeah.
like they're real contenders. And then it all
And they
fell
get
apart.
Buckner back, DeForest Buckner.
Who's
you know.
terrifying.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a
he's
great
absolutely
defensive
terrifying.
lineman. So
Yeah.
should
No, I'm
be-
sure
should be
that
fun.
as much as the Jags or some people in the Jags organization are saying like people are sleeping on us, I guarantee the Colts are saying that.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
they're
yeah.
saying if our quarterback doesn't tear his
Totally.
Achilles on your field, by the way, Jacksonville, then we are
Yeah.
making the playoffs and who knows what after that. All
Real
right.
quick, sorry, just for Trevor's, like the yards per attempt, just by game. So starting in the beginning, it was 5.7, 6.5, 5.6, 5.6. He had an 8.8 against Kansas.
Yep.
6.1, 6.2, 6.5, 6.9. Then you get to this stretch starting against the Chargers. 7, 8.5, 8.5, 8.1, 10.3, 7.8, 7.1, and 8.5.
Yep.
And then the postseason was 6.9 again.
Yeah, he went down in that one.
And you didn't need to stretch the field early on because you're able to hand the ball off.
Yeah, you were
and-
running better.
Yeah.
Well, and no connection wasn't there either,
Yeah.
right? When
Well, there's
that-
a lot of misses and a lot of drops at that point in time.
Yeah. We can blame both the QB and the wide receivers for that. All right. Let's give some lunch away.
Yes, we have free lunch for 2 to Chick-fil-A. Give us a call at 641-1010. Let's say caller number 2, you get free lunch to Chick-fil-A. Make sure you grab that peach milkshake too. Summer's winding down, so it's only here for about a month, maybe a little over a month longer. So made with those real peaches, the ice cream dessert. Perfect to go along with a chicken sandwich or some chicken nuggets. So call right now and get some free lunch.
Let's do it. And then Lauren's Lane on the other side. And one more pair of Rock the Country tickets. So I would keep it right here, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
I lied a big secret. People are smart. They can handle it.
Because you did not use the magic word. What is the magic word?
1010XL, where sports magic happens.
Please.
Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL. Installed by Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
Mandarin's Bryson Wright scheduled a game day visit to Florida on September 26 when the Gators host Ole Miss. The number 1 recruit in the 2028 class was offered by the Gators in 8th grade and took his unofficial visit to Gainesville in June. Former Gator Amari Burney was signed by the Jaguars yesterday and is on the first unofficial roster for the team's preseason game against the Saints on Saturday.
If you're getting estimates for replacement windows, do yourself a favor. Get one more. Prosser here. I did, and I was blown away. Cash Building Materials' local team is so experienced, and they know exactly what works for Jacksonville homes at a surprising price. You owe it to yourself to see what they can do before making a decision. Before you buy windows or doors, get a cash quote. Search Cash Building Material. Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
I know how awful it is to get injured out there, but never due to someone else's negligence like a lot of you. Tom McManus here. If this speaks to you directly, you got to check out Morgan & Morgan, the largest personal injury law firm in the nation. They've got over $30 billion recovered for all of their clients. That's why they win, and they win some more, but they don't get a single penny unless you do. A proven track record with backup. I know, hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Dial pound law on your cell. That's all. Or check out forthepeople.com.
After attending a Saturday Bumps and Bruises clinic by Southeast orthopedic specialist, my son's hip and shoulder issues were diagnosed quickly, and he's back playing. As a busy family, we really appreciate their prompt attention.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Surely, you've heard of John Osher. That's obvious. Find out what he's heard about your favorite football team.
Is there anything else we need to know?
Listen for Jacksonville's senior writer weekdays on 1010XL. Served up by Twin Peaks.
I'm Alan Tyre with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners Bill Pappas and Kim Rimley want to thank all of our clients, CPAs, attorneys, bankers, and real estate agents who refer us business every day. If you're ready to purchase, build, or refinance your home, call Trustline Mortgage, your hometown mortgage source since 1989. Call us today at 904-381-LOAN, trustlinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Trustline Mortgage, NMLS, 331480. Alan Tyre, NMLS, 246490. Bill Pappas, NMLS, 218443. Ken Remley, NMLS, 246445.
Make your outdoor living space one you're proud of with Sutherland Lawn and Landscape. From landscape design and outdoor living spaces to turf, lighting, irrigation, pavers, and complete residential and commercial maintenance, Sutherland brings your vision to life with quality craftsmanship and a team you can trust. Sutherland Lawn and Landscape, transforming outdoor spaces, elevating everyday living. Visit SUTHERLIN lawn.com today.
A lot of plumbing companies around here, not local anymore. They got bought out. Different owners, different priorities, and you feel it when you call. But not at Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining is still locally owned, still right here in Northeast Florida. No call centers, no corporate nonsense, just hardworking pros who show up, fix it right, and stand behind the job. From leaks to full pipe relining, make the superior choice when you need a plumber. Request an estimate at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Hey, it's Joe C. for Wingstop. Have you ever heard of a flavor rodeo? Now available at Wingstop. Carolina Gold, a bold blend of tangy mustard barbecue, apple cider vinegar, and savory spices for the right amount of southern sweet and tang. And Jamaican Jerk, a rich barbecue sauce infused with chilies, thyme, cinnamon, garlic, nutmeg, and sweet molasses. Finished with a savory jerk season for an extra layer of flavor. Carolina Gold and Jamaican Jerk. Now that's a flavor rodeo for a limited time only at Wingstop.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Redneck.
If you're a Blake Shelton fan, then you recognize this song, and that means you also probably want to go to Rock the Country later this month in Ocala. That's right. The boys will be around Florida Horse Park August 28th and 29th. That's a Friday and a Saturday down in Ocala. If you don't win these tickets, you can buy them online, rockthecountry.com. But caller number 4, 641-1010. Caller number 4, 904-641-1010. You will get to go see Rock the Country, Brooks and Dunn, Miranda Lambert, Lauren Elena, Shenandoah, all on Friday. Blake Shelton, John Party, Hudson Westbrook, all on Saturday. And Joey Chestnut's brother, Mark Chestnut.
In case you didn't know.
Probably not brothers, but that's quite all right. Hudson Westbrook is one of those like up and coming artists that's, I would say, in a year from now going to be very, very famous.
Would you have guessed country singer or NASCAR driver for Hudson Westbrook?
Probably NASCAR driver. Yeah.
I want to play that game again at some point in time. Country singer or NASCAR driver?
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
We should
fun.
get Jared with it.
Yeah. I did think about the other day, I was looking at, I don't know why, but I was looking at the top 10 like standings in the NASCAR, probably because of the game that we played. That was fun. But I was like, I wonder if I just came to you guys blind and I said, how many drivers can you name in the top 10? You'd get 2. I guarantee you'd get 2. And then after that, I'd have to probably give you some hints. Go for it.
Logano, Joey Logano.
All right, now I have to pull up the top 10 again because I can't remember
I feel
exactly.
like there's
but
like
I'll
a
pull it up.
Blaney, right? Blaney's still out
Ryan
there.
Blaney. I don't know if he's in the top 10, but I guess I should have pulled this up already. I didn't know we were going to play.
Let's play pop quiz game.
All right, Ryan Blaney is third in the top 10 standings.
Go,
Unfortunately for you,
No,
Joey
Joey
Logano is not in
Logano.
the top 10. I'm sure he's in the top 20.
Okay.
Sarah Newman. Ryan. Ryan Newman.
W?
Well, there's a Ryan Newman, but I don't know if he's still racing is my problem.
Okay, he is not in the top 10.
Okay.
The one that I feel like y'all would get would be the number 1 guy because he wins so many races.
The one we got wrong
Tony
last
Stewart.
time?
No, I think good guess. I'll just tell you,
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin.
I knew if I was
Yeah,
able to give you
darn it.
any sort of hint, you would get Denny
Good old
Hamlin.
Denny.
Ty Gibbs, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick. I didn't know if
Reddick.
that's
He
the other-
started the country
Correct.
song thing. Yeah,
yes,
right.
JJ Reddick,
Yeah,
Tyler
yeah.
Reddick. And then Chase Briscoe, Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott. That's another
Chase
one.
I feel like I could have got
Yep.
Elliott.
Carson Hocevar, Chris Boucher.
grandpa's
Y'all wouldn't
mad
have
at
gotten
me,
them. And then Kyle Larson rounds out the top
Larson.
10.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So the one
I
guy
don't
we
watch enough
did.
NASCAR, I don't think.
Yeah, me either. The
That's
one
because
guy
y'all
that
watch zero. I don't watch any either. I'm not shaming you. I'm not NASCAR
Pretty
shaming
much.
you.
That's
I'm
pretty
just saying
much
when you
it.
say you don't watch enough.
Very true. Touche.
So a little more would be, I'm not bored.
One race, we might know a couple more of these.
I'm sorry, NASCAR fans. I'm sorry. Not just for them, for me too. I'm
But
sorry.
because the one guy that we guessed as a country singer and then won like
That
3
was
races.
Tyler
Yeah, he did. Reddick.
Okay, that
Yeah,
was
Reddick
Reddick.
did,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, because
He's on a
that's the one
tear.
I thought y'all would get Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick because
Right.
of the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, JJ Reddick, that's the way I think of it, is just to help me get the last name. But all right,
Wow.
time now to swerve and drive into Lawrence Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
What a missed opportunity by me. We could have done Lawrence Lane and connected it to the NASCAR drive.
Keep it going. Top 20.
Going 200 miles per hour. All right, so former FSU kicker Sebastian Janikowski will have his number 38 jersey retired during FSU's season opener on August
Wow.
29th versus New Mexico State. So if you loved the All-American kicker Sebastian Janikowski, go to that game.
Now, when he came out,
Yeah.
he kicked a bomb.
He sure
I
did.
mean, that kid could kick.
He played
like
high school soccer.
First round pick.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I know.
First round pick kicker.
Yeah, that would probably never
Unbelievable.
happen again. I don't think a first round
What
kicker.
was his longest? I don't mean to put you on the spot,
no, you're
but was he like Cam at all? Like nobody was saying it that far, were they? Back in the day,
I felt
'cause
like he was over
Jason
like 65.
Elam, was he over 65?
63. Okay, yeah, against
63,
Vegas.
So he famously attempted a 76-yard field goal on September 28th, 2008 against the Chargers, which stands as the longest field goal attempt in NFL history, but it was short.
Yeah,
Wow.
76 yards is insane. I don't even know
Yeah, he
if
used to
Cam Little
bomb
would
it.
trot out for us, like if Liam would put Cam Little out there. But yeah, I want to say he played, did he come from Jacksonville? Or did he just play high school soccer in Jacksonville?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure,
think he does have a tie to
I think he
Jayville.
does because I
feel like he
vaguely
does.
remember my dad talking to me one time about having to ref him when he was playing soccer here in Jacksonville.
Really?
He played at Seabreeze, that's right, Daytona
Okay.
Beach. And so they
Daytona.
must have come to Jacksonville for a game. And
Okay.
so, yeah, when he played,
That's
at one
unbelievable.
point in time,
First
my dad
round
reffed
pick.
him. Yeah, really
Yeah,
crazy.
Whew.
A little bit of baseball. The Rays won again last night, beating the A's 12-2. But here's the interesting part. So the shortstop, Taylor Walls, the last time he hit a home run was July 27th of a year ago. Okay. So July 27th, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, he hit a home run, his normal left-handed hit a home run, a 2-run bomb. Then 30 minutes later, switch hits from the opposite side of the plate, hits another home run.
Dinger.
Hit 2 in 30 minutes, which is so
Wow.
crazy. So
It
yeah,
is.
one left-handed, one right-handed.
Switch
Is that a
hitters to
record?
me in general, I don't
Yes.
understand it. My mind can't comprehend.
Oh, it's
that.
so cool.
The Cubs have Ian Happ as a switch hitter, and it's wild to me to watch him. Like he'll switch, obviously depend on the pitcher. Like he'll switch sides. He's been in a little. He hasn't batted super well.
Well,
but
neither
this
had
year,
Taylor Wells
Yeah.
or Walls. I mean,
Well,
so
Happ has a couple home runs recently too, actually. But it is like he'll walk up to the plate, and I'm like, I can't imagine hitting a home run on both sides is crazy. But to me, just in general, being able to walk up to the plate
Yeah.
and launch balls into the outfield on either side, just depending, is wild. My
Yeah.
mind can't open a door with my left hand, let alone like swing
Yeah,
it
no,
back.
it's absolutely incredible. Those guys can. Not many can do it.
not many can. And then another crazy thing considering the Rays, or about the Rays, they have 7 top 100 prospects in their farm system. They just traded away 8 players in their farm system ahead of the trade deadline in order to acquire like Freddie Peralta and some other guys. So they are the #1 team in Baseball America's farm system. They have the #1 farm system in all of baseball, and they just traded away 8 players.
Of them,
In case you're wondering, they're tied with the Cardinals. And then the Brewers used to be at the top. Now they're #3 after, I guess, trading away some players and then some prospects. And then #4 is the Giants, 5 Orioles, 6 Dodgers, which is also disgusting, 7 Nationals,
annoying.
8 Twins, 9 Guardians, and 10 Seattle Mariners. All right, and then I wanted to get to this a little bit more serious of a topic, but shout out to Matt Hasselbeck, who is going to be participating
Yeah, I
in
know
the
Matt.
CTE study. Yep, obviously Boston College connection.
Yeah, good
So
guy.
he's already gone through all the scans as far as they're trying to find the way to tell if someone has CTE when they are alive. Yep. And so he's also going to donate his brain after he dies. But I know there have been 100 former players, NFL players, that have been linked to CTE, obviously posthumously, but they're obviously trying to find a way. And there's a lot more studies that have happened on Alzheimer's than there have on CTE. And so they're trying to push that forward. I read that there's like a $15 million research grant that's been focused just on CTE, but I thought that was great of him
love
and
Yeah.
really anyone who's willing to participate in the study.
There's a guy named Chris Nowitzki who played at Harvard that started with the head CTE and all that. I think it's so stupid, but I can't remember. But I think I signed my brain over to him.
Okay.
Like when you pass, so
Yeah.
they can study it. I don't know how good it's gonna do.
But I wondered if you would want to participate if they reached out to you to participate to do studies while you're alive.
I think Christina would like me
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Sure, she would love to know what's in this brain of mine. I'm not so sure I'd want to
would
know.
want to. Some of the tests.
Because if you find out, then what? I don't. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Some of the tests I thought were kind of difficult. Like you have to, Hasselbeck said you have to count down from 100 by sevens. Not just 100, 99, but like 93. And then by 7 again. Yeah, see, you'll be
think I
fine.
could do that,
And then backwards alphabet was another one of the tests. And then, of course, they
I'm
put
not
you
doing
through
that.
some scans.
I can't go backwards alphabet.
I'd have to write it
Yeah,
down.
you could.
No, I could not.
ZY. Go
I
from
still,
there.
in my head, to go forward, I have to like start at a certain point. I'm like, element OP.
Yeah, I think I'm sure you're allowed to write it down, and that way it would help. But
that would be the trickiest part, going backwards.
Yes.
The elemental P.
100%. Yeah. I did like his quote. He said, so as a quarterback, obviously he wasn't hit that much, but he said for the study, they need guys who are the ones that basically blocked for him. And so they had much more head trauma. And he wants to be able to help those guys out and feels like that he'll have their back when they had his back for so long.
No, it's great. Yeah, it's a great thing to do. It's scary, you know. I mean, I don't. We're talking on the field. I don't know how you stop it. You know, even with all these helmet things, you know, your brain is still going to smash against your skull.
And
And I
Hasselbeck
don't know how
was
you
saying
stopped it.
he had, I think, 3 concussions in high school before he even got to college.
yeah.
And then they didn't even track how many he had in college. And then
Right.
finally, at some point in time in the NFL, they started to track.
Literally, like when you were younger in high school, it was a ding. You got dinged. No big deal. Got dinged. Look at him. He's up. He's walking around.
Yeah, he's good.
He's fine. How you feel, kid? I feel fine.
Right.
You know, and
Back
then
in the game.
back in the game
Yeah.
or back into practice. It wasn't. So were those dings concussions?
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. I
Right.
don't know.
Because they didn't take a flashlight to your pupils and figure out if they're dilating or not.
No,
They just,
then, no,
Right.
right.
They just said, maybe they didn't even ask.
They're
Do
like,
you know
are
your
you
name?
concussed? No. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. All right, tonight is a season opener for ASUN women's soccer. JU plays host to Miami at 7 p.m. With, of course, the disclaimer of I hope the weather gets a little bit better between now and then. And then UNF opens on the road at Georgia Southern at 7 p.m. Tomorrow night, Stetson plays host to number 4 FSU. Good
Oh,
luck,
wow.
Stetson. If you remember, FSU won the national championship last year in women's soccer. That game's at 7, and then Florida travels to UCF at 7 o'clock. And then Sunday, August 23rd, Florida plays host to Florida State. So Florida used to be really, really good in women's soccer. Florida has dropped off significantly, so not even in the top 25. So right now, FSU has been dominating Florida when it comes to soccer. And final thing in Lawrence Lane, the Los Angeles Lakers will be sold for a record-breaking $12.5 billion.
Did you see, like 14 months ago, it was sold for 10.
Yeah.
So in 14 months, it went up $2.5 billion.
Which that's the same thing with NFL franchises, too. They've gone up as an average 31% in about a year.
I heard today at the table I was at, the luncheon, the valuations are coming out, and it's alleged or supposedly every franchise, or starting with an $8 billion.
Wow. I thought I
Every
saw
32.
the Bengals are the least valued. Let me find the stat.
Yeah,
the
check it out.
Bengals were like, I think the lowest.
I think they were 5
valued.
something.
Yeah.
But that means that that's a big
Increases
jump.
then
Right. The new ones
to
are
8.
coming out, I suppose, I guess is what he was saying.
So
And
$7.4 billion for the Bengals. That was the lowest when it comes to the franchises. And then the Jaguars are 29th in the league, so $7.91 billion. But there's a caveat there.
yeah.
The new stadium isn't built.
Yeah.
The moment that, not built, but renovated. The moment
Right.
that Stadium of the Future is there, I guarantee that,
That
the
value
Jaguars will
increases.
certainly move up. But
Oh, yeah.
to your point, what's really the difference between $7.4 billion and $8 billion? I mean, valuation wise, you can say they're all worth $8 billion.
I'll take the $0.5 billion.
Well, how
Yeah.
about buying it
That's
for
true.
$760?
Yeah, $760 million
Million.
in 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
that
a
was an
great
excellent
investment.
investment.
Mhm.
I
Definitely.
wish I could have done
It's only
that.
going up. I mean, how does it stop?
It
Will
doesn't.
it stop? You know, I don't think it's
Yeah.
going to stop.
I mean, they may level out just a little bit because pure economics would tell
There's
you
only
that
so many streaming services
Yeah.
to
More
get money out of.
But they charge more people the money. That's where that comes in. Netflix went from $10 to now 25 or
But they
whatever. That
haven't-
continues to happen.
True, but the franchises haven't always been exponentially growing.
Yeah.
That's been more recent. So that's why I wonder if we'll see a little bit of a plateau. But I'm talking like I have
wonder why.
any idea
I mean, think
of global
about it. They were under
economics.
COVID too, but then they broke out.
Well,
and,
COVID helped them.
yeah.
People weren't leaving the house. They became addicted to football. Trust me, we've been like that. We understand. But the golden moment awaits on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
It's full throttle on the straightaway.
3 wide for the lead. 1 lap to go.
This Saturday at Martinsville.
Checkered flag is in the air.
NASCAR is revved up by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 and 1010XL.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, Tommy Mack here for Duval Glass and Mirror. You don't have to remodel your entire home to make a big impression. Sometimes all it takes is a beautiful frameless shower, a custom-cut mirror, or just replacing that fog, cracked, or outdated glass that's been bothering you for years. Jacksonville homeowners trust Duval Glass and Mirror for expert craftsmanship, honest service, and flawless results. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote today. There's only one name for glass and mirror on here, and it's Duval.
Hey, fellow Floridians, I'm Brenda Marie, pet parent to 7 precious pups and a huge fan of natural gas. Hush, you guys. When it's bath time, we love our natural gas tankless water heater. We get endless hot water when we need it, use less energy, and save money, too. Oh, yes, we do.
Now, earn up to a $700 cashback rebate for installing a new energy-efficient natural gas water heater. To learn more, go to peoplesgas.com/rebates.
Real conversations with Farrah and Farrah clients. Here's Reggie.
Not only was being injured stressful, the first law firm that I hired made me feel even more stressful. And that was very concerning for me until I went with Farrah and Farrah.
How did that feeling change?
My attorney had the experience, and he had the respect, and the firm had the respect. And I think that made the difference in the resolution of my case. I can't think of a better decision that I made than Farrah and Farrah.
Results may vary. Jacksonville.
Hacker here for Cornerstone Interior Solutions. If your AC is working overtime every summer, your insulation may be the problem. Homeowners and builders across Northeast Florida are calling Cornerstone to upgrade to spray foam insulation. It seals homes, crawl spaces, garages, blocking in cool air and blocking out heat. So your home stays cooler, your system runs easier, and your energy bills stay under control. Don't wait for peak heat. Visit CornerstoneInteriorSolutions.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Frank Frangie here for my friends at Coyle Fencing. You've heard me talk about our Bragan baseball complex with walk-off charities and we needed a batter's eye. Nobody knew how to do it. Coyle figured it out, and it is great. Since then, Coyle & Sons has completed hundreds of projects, including most recently our football fields at Fort Family Park. The bottom line is they do everything. They do it well. It looks great. I trust Coyle & Sons. You can too. Since 1927, they've been getting it right. CoyleJacks.com. C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. That's where you find them. A proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
UFC Fight Night is coming in hot, and the best place to catch every hit, every kick, and every takedown is at Twin Peaks. Ice cold 29-degree beer, scratch-made favorites, and wall-to-wall TVs put you right into action. ET here for Twin Peaks. Eat, drink, scenic views.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal. Hey, Jason. I'm glad your technician could come look at my air conditioner on Monday. You guys were crazy busy. Mondays are always crazy. What happened? Oh, stupid AC started making a funny noise Friday night, so I had to put up with it all weekend before I could call you Monday morning. Why didn't you call on Saturday or Sunday? What? And leave a message for who knows when? We answer the phone all weekend, and we can have a crew dispatched right away. You can? We have expert crews on call all weekend long. And if they're on call, they'd actually like to work. You mean I could have called on Friday and had it fixed on Saturday? Or called on Sunday and had it fixed on Sunday. For the same price as always? Same as Monday to Friday. We have the same world-class service at the same prices 7 days a week. Really? If you call on the weekend, your problem gets fixed on the weekend.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Golden moment for me today is after going through the walkthrough. Well, I didn't go through the walkthrough, but going to the walkthrough that the Jaguars went through. For the most part, this team is healthy as they head, and I'm assuming they're already in New Orleans at this point in time ahead of tomorrow's joint practice. It'll be 9 a.m. Eastern time. So looking forward to seeing reports there. And then, like we said, we'll have Jeff Logman on Friday. But yeah, a few guys were working off to the side and didn't get to see Walker Little still. So not sure what's going on with him. Didn't see Jordan Lewis. But a lot of guys were at least available for different parts of the walkthrough. And again, Tom, you would know, like, you don't have to be very healthy to get through a walkthrough because there's absolutely nothing going on.
Barely have to walk.
Yeah, but it is cool to like get to see the guys doing everything just in like, you know, their hats and t-shirts and stuff like that. But yeah, they're for the most part fairly healthy. We haven't seen any, knock on wood, season-ending injuries at this point in time.
Yeah, those are good to do. I mean, it just, reiterates, your assignment on every play. And it gives you the confidence and gives them the confidence that you know what you're doing. It's not full speed, obviously, but just to know where you're supposed to be, the gap against run, what front you're in, all that stuff. What coverage? Who do you have? What if they motion in? What if they motion out? If they go across, do you go with, that everything.
And I didn't hear any coaches screaming at players. Again, it's not full speed, but
so they got it right. They didn't no mental mistakes.
Right, for the most part. Offense was in front of us. They did some stuff together, but for the most part, offense was right in front of where the media was. The defense was at the other side. But I think, like you said, it's good to get those mental reps.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's it's either in the meeting room or out there, but at least out there you can. I mean, they do a ton of walkthroughs anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know
they did one this past Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and even during the week, like even though they have the one practice later in the day, they go back outside and walk through some stuff. Which is just good for the mental game.
Yeah.
We used to do it before every practice. We'd eat lunch. Check this out. We'd eat lunch. We get dressed, go have a walkthrough. Then go into a meeting room and they shut the lights off. What do you think happened to me? I'm like, can't stay awake. I'm like, gosh.
That's why we changed the lights out in here.
That's right.
So they're right in your eyes and all that stuff. I said no season-ending injuries. I suppose I would imagine Jared Bartlett, who did get carted off.
Right.
I would imagine that's probably a season ending, but outside of him, who unfortunately had just been signed to the Jags.
Yeah. It's going to be a great week. I mean, look, I'm looking forward to seeing how they do against New Orleans.
Will you have any sort of party for a tailgate for a preseason game?
No, but Mike Kelsey's like, what are we doing for the game, Dad?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
Like, what food are we cooking? We got
something.
Figure
We
something
got
out.
football's back.
Yeah, we'll do something.
Right.
For sure.
We all got to get back to, what dips are we making or appetizers
Yeah.
and things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. It's because of the preseason now when it comes to so many starters. Some teams have no starters playing. Some have, a few guys. Some starters are playing. So we'll see how that goes throughout. But it's still that first, football's back moment. I know the Hall of Fame game already happened, but that almost is so because it's so secluded, you almost feel like this is that first weekend. You were talking about Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you have football games. And
We are loaded up.
Yeah, big time.
I
can't wait.
I know this happens every year because they pretty much cram it in. But yes, starting tomorrow night, I think there's 6 games and then another slew on Friday and then another slew on Saturday.
Yeah.
It's like we're here.
Yeah.
Which we know that from going to training camp practices.
But for
still.
other people, they're like, I've talked to people the last couple of weeks where they'll be like, oh, when's the first preseason game? And you tell them and they're like, oh, it's back.
Yeah.
It's back. It's time to
3
go.
on Friday night. So here's the schedule real quick. Lions at Bengals. These are all tomorrow night starting at 7. Lions at Bengals, Packers at Steelers, Colts at Patriots 7:30, Chargers at Texans, Cardinals at Raiders. Those are both at 8. And then Titans at 49ers at 9. And then Friday, Broncos at Falcons, Bucks at Jets, Dolphins at Commanders. Those are all at 7. And then Saturday, you've got 7 or 8 games. So the rest, basically, including, of course, the Jags. They're the third to last game that Saturday at 4 p.m.
Okay.
spot.
Yeah. Cramming them all in.
One of the interesting things I saw today, speaking of just because storylines around the league that will be kind of fascinating, there's a lot of other teams that have QB battles or other things going on that obviously the preseason is even more intriguing for some of those teams. But I saw the Browns, they talked today, and they said that the starter will play, but they didn't say who was it. So it's like a surprise of who runs out and starts, and then that's
They have
your
so much
starter.
drama surrounding their quarterback competition, whereas other teams, it's news, but I wouldn't call it necessarily drama.
Yeah.
I've got odds for who will take the first snap for the Falcons. This is week 1 of the regular season. Tua Tagovailoa minus 500. Michael Penix
He's
Jr.
starting.
plus 300.
Tua's gonna
And
start.
Tua's
He's been
gonna
hurt.
start.
Penix is not even cleared, is he?
No,
Or just
not
got
yet.
cleared, maybe?
And then for the Browns, Deshaun Watson minus 300, Shedeur Sanders plus 200. And then
interesting.
the quarterback 2 for the Colts depth chart, and this would be game week, so not yet. Riley Leonard minus 300, Anthony Richardson plus 200. I would take those odds on Riley Leonard.
AR's starting this
Go
week, I
Irish.
saw.
Yes.
Yeah, the Colts gonna throw him out there for the first half.
Yeah, I'll be like, figure something out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Do
then the
something.
best odds to be the backup in Arizona, Gardner Minshew and Carson Beck tied with the same odds at minus 120.
That one I think
don't
is
know.
one that
That's
will be
interesting.
fun throughout the preseason to watch, because I do think that all they did was give more money to Jacoby Brissett this year. It's not like they gave him 3 years or something like that. So
And it's $15 million in the grand scheme of things.
yeah, and so that conversation of that kind of to me is a tell of number one, Jacoby, go out and prove yourself, because if you do have another year, you saw flashes last year. If you develop and improve on that, then maybe Jacoby, they roll with Jacoby. But then also it's that conversation of Gardner Minshew's been around the league. He has some experience. He's been kind of that the backup when you need him to come in and do some win a game here or there. He can do it, but I don't know if he's the future. But then Carson Beck during the Hall of Fame game looked really good. So if you can kind of bundle all of that and you see that throughout preseason, it'll be interesting to how that looks going into, let's say, week 5, 6, if they're not winning a ton of football games with Brissett by then.
Yeah, and
Brissett is starting, by the way, tomorrow night.
Is he?
Mendoza on one side, Brissett on the other.
Okay. I mean, listen, if Beck continues to shine, no, you can't just go off the one game, right? But if he does, you got a brand new coach.
Absolutely.
Roll him out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know you want to win now, but you also want to have a QB that you can develop and win, whether it's that first year or second year, So I don't know. I haven't seen the competition with Beck. He looked good the other night.
Yeah.
And you got to keep it in perspective. But if you're a new coach, you got a rookie guy you drafted, 3rd round, right? First pick in the 3rd round.
Yeah. For Carson Beck, yeah.
And he looks the part. You know what I mean? He might
Yeah.
you might be like, screw it. Let's just go with the young kid and see what we can do.
It just all depends, We had that here when Bortles was drafted. The plan was start Chad Henne, let Bortles wait in the
Ease
wings.
into it,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Bortles looked great in the preseason.
Yeah.
And so the narrative became, no, go ahead and put Blake in. And then you start to wonder, maybe he should have sat for a little bit longer, even though, you weren't winning. So, we'll be paying attention to that tomorrow night. All right, one segment to go. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Every championship team needs a deep bench. Same goes for a great dealership. Tom McManus here at Tom Bush. We have Mazdas, Minis, BMWs, Volkswagens, and a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, too. Whether you're looking for your first truck, your next commuter, or the SUV your family needs, we've got options that fit your budget. Stop by today and see why more drivers put Tom Bush family of dealerships in their starting lineup.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Hey, soccer fans, Sporting Jacks is giving away a new Honda Accord Saturday, 8:15. Sporting Jacks men take on Indy 11 at 7 on Hodges Field at UNF. Just be there. Someone will win a new car from Honda at the Avenues and Sporting Jacks. Visit sportingjacks.com today.
Natural diamonds have not been this affordable in the past 20 years.
That's John Lupo at Beard's Diamonds, talking about how prices of natural rare diamonds have fallen pretty dramatically.
The best opportunity that I've seen in over 20 years.
So if you believe in buying low, John's son Ben says this is your chance.
It's really a good time to invest in natural right now. With prices being very aggressive for the consumer and for us, we're still able to pass along those savings.
Right now, Beard's Diamonds is stocked with both natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes at every conceivable price point.
We are happy to educate the consumer on lab-grown or natural diamonds, and we've got price ranges for everybody.
So at Beard's, you're not going to be pushed. You can choose natural or lab-grown. Get an unbiased education from non-commissioned experts and be guaranteed the highest quality and the best price.
We want to sell you something bigger, better, for less, and stand behind it 100%.
Discover real value today at Beard's Diamonds, a Jacksonville original in the St. John's Town Center.
A no-risk, all-rewards path to real weight loss? Awaken 180 is so confident in your success, if you're not happy with your results in the first week, get 100% of your money back. No risk, every reward. Awaken180weightloss.com.
If a special occasion is on the horizon, log on to CuneFlowers.com and order online. You'll find a wide assortment of floral arrangement ideas ready for a click and buy, or visit their beautiful showrooms for extraordinary gift ideas. For over 75 years, Cune Flowers.
I'm Alan Tyre with Trust-A-Line Mortgage. My business partners Bill Pappas and Ken Rimley want to thank all the top real estate agents and builders who refer us business every day. Thinking about buying or building a new home? At Trust-A-Line Mortgage, we're here to make the mortgage process simple, clear, and stress-free. That's why First Coast residents have trusted us for more than 37 years. Since 1989, Trust-A-Line Mortgage has been your local mortgage company dedicated to personal service. Real people, real conversations, and real solutions. Whether you're looking for a conventional, VA, FHA, or a construction loan, Trust-A-Line Mortgage brings over 4 decades of experience to help you. And did I mention we offer the most competitive jumbo rates in Florida? If you're ready to buy, build, refinance, or simply explore your options, call Trust-A-Line Mortgage today at 904-381-LOAN or visit our website at trustalinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trust-A-Line Mortgage.
Trustline Mortgage, NMLS 331480. Alan Tyre, NMLS 246490. Bill Pappas, NMLS 218443. Ken Remley, NMLS 246445.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
I'm gonna love you till the cows come home. Gonna love you when the corn don't grow. Hey girl, I bet the farm on you.
Jared, I would have never guessed that you know Low Cash, and he's shaking his head. He does not. That's who sings this song. I was telling you guys off air, the new Jax Amphitheater will be opening November 5th with JJ Gray and Mofro coming to the Greater Jacksonville Agricultural Fair. For people who've paid attention, it has moved from the fairgrounds. Every single year it's been at the fairgrounds to now much farther out, like Normandy area.
Okay.
And so Low Cash, that band that we were just playing, they will be with John Morgan, who sings a song that's very popular on the radio right now called "A Kid Myself." He's come to the Jax Beach Country Fest a couple years ago. He was great. But yeah, Low Cash and John Morgan will be there at the Greater Jacksonville Agricultural Fair on November 15th. So they basically have a concert every day starting November 5th through November 15th. I've been to the fair many a time to see some country artists.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. And now I'm excited about this new amphitheater.
Absolutely. More good times coming to Jayville.
Oh, yeah.
You know, more acts, more stuff to do. It's awesome.
That's right.
Our Jags just got to go 13-4 again and get back to the playoffs. Be good.
Yeah, that's all.
Everybody
We're
be
not
happy.
Not asking
Not
much.
asking much. Come on. Just back to back. Get it done. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to this practice against New Orleans.
I am
me
too.
too.
Yeah, what are you hoping for the most? Anything like you got a macro and a micro? Like anybody like in particular you hope really shines?
Health. I'm hoping health. But
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
always an obvious. I would say I'd like to hear something about the pass rushers, and it doesn't have to be Josh Hines Allen or Trayvon Walker. It can be a Green Estrigo. It can be the young guys that are getting after it. But I'd like to hear that maybe the Saints offensive line is having a hard time being able
Against
to
those
block the Jags defensive line.
Yeah, I think for me, that's a big one. But I do think, too, because of the storyline of ETN, it would be fun to have our running backs kind of have, a day, whoever it is, I don't care, all of them go ahead. But there's only, when it comes to this, I know you're not seeing full on run game and everything in action, but I would like them leaving and being like, oh, okay. Like, that it feels like the run game is going and the stink is being fixed, because I feel like that is going to be one of the storylines leaving this. If ETN has some crazy good joint practices and this run game looks underwhelming, that's going to be the storyline nationally when it comes to some of the stuff that they're talking about.
I mean,
And that would be behind, by the way, some parts of a beat up offensive line and or backup offensive lineman.
I mean, look, they got plenty of talent on that team, at wide receiver. Quarterback did okay. Yeah, the Saints. Yeah, ETN, of course. Kamara backing them up. They've invested in their line. Kelvin Banks Jr., young guy.
Their depth chart
Fuaga.
has ETN or Kamara, by the way.
Which I think that'll be their season.
For me, I want to hear that Trevor lit him up.
Yeah.
I want to hear that he lit him up. That's number one for me. And whatever that means. I just wanted that he looked really good, that our wide receivers beat up their defensive backs, were open a lot, made tough catches. He put it in the right spot, and they were just on fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then defensively, shut them down. Like they leave that practice going, man, they just manhandled us. They just kicked our butt. But we'll see. Good test.
Yeah, Lord has a light for you.
How'd you find your way in there, man?
I'll make
It
sure
is when
to
you
turn my
walk in a
flashlight
little
on
dark.
for you next time, Hayes. All right, let's say hello officially to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes, did I spy with my little eye that you caught up with one Parker Washington after practice today?
Yeah, I mean, what a training camp that he's having. So, it was fun catching up with Parker, and it's wild how, like, a player will elevate, and the way that Parker has done that over the last, I guess, about 10 months has been remarkable. So, I had fun catching up with Parker today, and we'll certainly look forward to playing that interview coming up on the Frangie Show.
Yeah, not so much practice, I suppose, walk through, but it does make for nice air-conditioned experience.
Yeah,
conversations.
It was good. They're in a good spot. It's the offensive line's beat up, but thankfully none of it looks like it's season jeopardizing.
Right.
And so I'm interested to see how they stack up against the Saints, a team that you would think the Jaguars would have significant advantages over in the joint practice. And obviously we won't learn much of, Saturday in terms of starters, but it'll be fun seeing this rookie draft class out there playing.
I haven't seen it yet. Have you seen episode 2 of Ted Lasso?
I have not.
Okay.
I haven't seen it either. So it comes out tonight. Is that
it's
right?
out. It'll be out,
Okay.
I guess, Wednesday midnight. So Tuesday at midnight, Wednesday at 12:01 a.m.
So it could do it now.
Yes.
Oh,
you can
okay.
skip the Frangie Show. You don't have to
then
do that.
Frank will do the Frangie Show, and I'll go watch episode 2. But But yeah,
I'm hoping it's better than episode 1. And I know episode 1 from when it first started, it was a little slower too. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping now they can pick things up.
I would hope, as well. I thought it was like a solid B,
Yeah.
But nothing spectacular. But yeah, so we'll talk some Ted Lasso. We'll talk some football. Brett Hastings will join us for Sports in Court. So it should be a fun Frangie show coming up.
Sounds good. Look
All
forward to
right.
the Parker Washington interview.
All right. Thank you so much.
And Frank handling all duties since you'll be watching Ted Lasso. All right, that'll do it for us today. Obviously, no show tomorrow.
That's right.
But we'll be talking to Logs on Friday about everything that he saw at the joint practice that comes up tomorrow with the Saints. So looking
Go
forward
Jags.
to
Let's
that.
go.
That's
Make your mark.
Hopefully, you'll be clapping by reading Twitter. Or
That's
from
right. I
reading
will
Twitter.
clap. I'll go, yes.
He said I will clap.
Long pass down the sideline for a touchdown.
Like,
Yes. Woo.
Yeah.
Let's
There you
go.
go.
Yeah.
He loves the clap. All right, that'll do it for us. For Taylor Dahl, for Tom McManus, for Jared Justice filling in for RJ Saunders. RJ will be back with us on Friday. I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. Tune in to us on Friday.
Gonna walk all over you.